Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Three Gorillas Entertainment. This is not the podcast. That's kind of like muscle memory for me at this point. But yeah, I'm here on the YouTube channel with three guests, and we're here to play pretty much a beginner's game of Fate in my homebrew setting of Thermia. You guys want to introduce yourselves? We could start with Jordan.
I'll mute myself then.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm Jordan. I am one of the founders of Tabletop Dads and unnamed production company, both RPG content channels. I'm looking forward to this. I've only played Fate once, a long time ago now, with Sam. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into it, and the world of Thermia has very interested me, so this is going to be fun.
So yeah, Caleb, you want to go next?
Hi, I'm Caleb. I am playing Nata, the Monster Slayer. I have my own YouTube channel, Realms of Darkness, and I am also one of the founding members of the Unnamed Production Company. And this is I've played a couple one-shots of Fate, but I'm not like a grizzled like Fate veteran, so this is a kind of a newbie session for me too.
Oh. Immediately had everyone drop for a second. So, but if you're all back, I think we could start off with, we'll go back to Joe.
Hey, howdy, I'm Joe, keeper of the tiny YouTube channel, The 1 Foot Wall. Today I am playing, we'll go with just August. That is his common name for other folks. Member of the Kiowan, and I'm excited to get into Thermia here. This is my first time Fate playing, or playing Fate, word cross. So excited for it.
Cool. All right.
I completely forgot my character. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
My character is Orion. He's the hunter. I guess that's actually all you need to know, is that he's Orion the hunter.
All right. And I should say, yeah, like I said, I'm Sam. I'm the GM, the resident GM for all things in Three Gorillas Entertainment. I'm also one of the founding members of Unnamed Production Company. And yeah, this is going to be a one-shot that could turn into something else. We'll see how it goes. I mean, they could all die today, so we'll see. This is also going to be, since they're all newbies, I'm going to be announcing some of the rules whenever something comes up. But more importantly, I decided to be mean and basically raise them up to very high levels of Fate. So that means they get to fight big baddies. So let's see how they handle that. So if you guys are ready, I think we can start, yeah? Cool. Okay. It's been a long journey. It was about 3 days on a boat to get to a train in Euphemios. There was about 2 days of travel over mountain passes. You had quite the view of the Black Sand Desert. You passed Concordia. You passed the wasteland of Freyland. Finally made it to the Imalamakan mountain range. And then from there was no more train. You had to climb down the mountain. Luckily, you had someone here who knew the terrain. Made it down to the river and had to find a ferry. And you've been on this small boat with this, to be quite frank, stinky young man for about 24 hours, just moving upriver to get you to the Sunless Swamp. You guys have been traveling in these conditions for, like I said, about a week now. How are you all feeling? What are you guys thinking about each other, being in close proximity for so long?
Have any of us picked up the smell?
It was very apparent right from the get go. He smells he honestly smells like unwashed swamp person.
So I will stand the furthest point I can from him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, August is definitely he's used to the travel. He's used to traveling with the other members of the guild, specifically Nata and Orion. He's very familiar with that. With the scent from the other fellow, August is quite thankful for the breezes and for the attachment for them, or the attachment he has to them, and he frequently mutters quiet prayers that the breeze would blow east to west instead of west to east.
Yeah, Orion doesn't. The smell doesn't bother him. He's got a stone constitution, I guess. He doesn't really get bothered by much like that. But the uneasiness of being on a ferry is what gets to him. He doesn't like traveling on water at all, in any facet. So he's just been sitting in the same position the entire ferry ride. He may move over to the side to hurl every once in a while, but other than that, he just sits. He's just he's hugging his crossbow and just sitting there on the edge of the boat.
Oh boy, I've never seen someone get seasick so quick on a boat. It's a river. You gonna be okay there, sir?
You haven't seen the things I've seen. You haven't been through the things I've been through. You don't get as far as I have without a healthy fear of boats.
Well, fair enough. We're almost there, folks. I know it's been a long trip. It's been kind of slow. It's the boat's running pretty sluggish today. I don't know why. We're damn near dragging on the bottom of the bank. But yeah, it should only be about an hour. And as you guys are going down this river, it's really scenic. It's been quite scenic. This is basically Kiowa. It's very lush forests, quite the sights, animals all over the place, and very friendly creatures. They don't seem to show much fear of humans. So it's probably a little bit different for Orion and for Orion and August. No, not August. Nata. Sorry, it's gonna take me a second to get all your names down packed. But this is probably a welcome relief to August, who hasn't been home in a little bit.
I am pleased that it still smells the same. The winds here are always blowing the lush grass, blowing the beautiful smells of the trees. And he occasionally calls out and points to various animals and such on the way with some little story about them or some little piece of history about the critters.
If it always smelled like this, I see why you left.
Nata at this point goes into, it's got the equivalent of a fanny pack made out of leather, pulls out this little thing, throws it in the air, it claps, and it's like this little powder, very, very strong, almost fruity scent is just enveloping him now, just to block out the scent of this. It's also gives a mild high, but it's more to block out the scent of the driver.
Nice. Oh man.
And Orion at that point would lean over to August and just, when do you think I should tell him that I replaced that with salt?
I don't think you should. It's funnier this way.
I agree.
Okay, and with that, you guys continue down the river. Just idle chat and trying to stay upwind from the ferrymen. And sure enough, after about an hour or so, you guys have left the scenic forest and have started to get into a thicker canopied area. The river grows into a more wider swamp-like area. You guys are at the very edge of the Sunless Swamp now. This is where where, to be frank, the swamp people of Kiowa live. As you draw near the village, if I remember correctly, Mudbank Village, it seems to have earned that name by the way it looks. The ferryman pulls up to the bank, and it is very much just straight up Mudbank. It looks like he puts down the stick that he uses to push the ferry boat forward, and it just sinks a good foot in. And he's like, "Yep, it's as close as we get to solid land out here." Here we are, gentlemen. Mudbank Village. As you look at, it's very close together trees, but all the trees are very large, and you see the village seems to be made built onto the trees. It's like a series of tree houses, like on one tree, and then they branch out to other trees. It's very interesting. They seem to have elevated themselves outside of the range of the swamp, just above the mosquito line. Okay.
So,
All right.
this is where we get off, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So, as a reminder, maybe for the viewers, you guys, well, no, particularly August, picked up a job from the Rangers Guild, and it was ridden and by a person titled only Flame Speaker. You're assuming the chief of this village.
All right. August should actually talk to the boatman.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where we can find Flame Speaker?
Oh, yeah. I've been around here before. Flame Speaker's the chief. He, well, if you see that big tree, that big mangrove right there, take the stairs and, go to the one way up at the top. That's his hut. I mean, they won't let you in unless you got some business with him, but he's there.
I thank you, sir. And, you have yourself a good day. Try and maybe go for a swim later. Couldn't hurt.
It's a nice day for a swim. Thank you, sir.
And, he looks back at Nata and Orion and goes, at least the footing will be dry with the planks and the steps here, up out of the mud. And starts along the way.
All right.
Double checking, make sure his pack is set, that he hadn't lost any of his, or at least hadn't gotten any of his papers wet.
Okay. All right, and you all step off the boat.
So, as I get off and we're following August, says, "So, what exactly are we here to do?"
Right. Let me pull this out and check again. We do need to speak with Flame Speaker, the chief. And he rifles through his pack to pull out the job sheet, or notes about the job, which I don't 100% remember.
All right.
If you wouldn't mind helping me out there, Sam.
The narrator will speak for you. The note, the job posting literally just reads, "Please track and kill whatever has been stealing our women and children at night. Appropriate reward to come." So this probably, it gave you location as well, Mudbank Village, and it probably struck out to you at first because most of your jobs are for New Thermia, clear across the roiling sea. You don't get, Rangers don't get much call to be out here on the mainland in Thermia, but this is pretty close to your hometown, August. Well, as close as you're going to get around here, a couple 100 miles, but
it's close enough.
Yeah.
Closer than it should
be. Exactly. So, you all step off the boat. Oh.
Yeah, Orion will probably be the last one to step off. He gets everything set. You know, he stands up, and you've noticed, like, you'll know you've never seen his face, you've never seen his anything. He has the weird Mad Eye Moody style eye patch over his right eye. But yeah, he gets up, he takes this belt and puts the belt back on. It's got the 6 canisters that sit along the back that have these bluish squid-like creatures that have one eye in each one of them. And out of them comes a hose that goes to his crossbow. And he just gets up, sets that down, he slings it over his back and starts to walk off the boat. And that's when you notice that he steps off the boat. First thing, he's a shorter, stockier dude. 5 feet tall, and as soon as he steps off into the mudbank, he probably sinks about up to his waist. And the boat probably rises a good 6 inches from where it was.
Was it fetching?
And he kind of looks around, hoping no one notices, and just goes about his business, like wading his way slowly through the mud to where he can stand up.
So instead of going on the planks and stuff, you went directly into the water.
To be fair, I didn't know there were planks. But yeah, I just jumped off the side of the boat.
Here's a splash. I look back. What are you doing?
I don't really travel water much. How else do you get off a boat?
There's a gangplank over here. The whole thing is decked all the way up. Please come over to this side. You will have a much easier time. And I do not know if that will wash out. The smell, I mean.
So he like looks down and he just starts like trying. He's forcing his way through this mud to try and get to the gangplank. And he'll just throw his crossbow up, throw his arms up, and just kind of like just pull himself over, dripping mud from the waist down.
I guess we should do character descriptions now, shouldn't we?
Yeah, you guys could. It seems like Orion kind of described his character already. So, what do you guys look like as you walk up the gangplanks and up the tree?
Well, my guy is pretty, not muscly, but like he's very bulky. He's got long, probably down to the middle of his back hair. Nice scar that goes down like one side of his face, catches the edge of the eye. He's got a bandolier across him. You can see a couple slots are filled. One's got like a looks almost like a potion bottle, but there's like, you can see almost like fire inside it. Like the fire's actually moving. And then the other bottle's got, you can see almost what's like a murky green liquid with little like vines in it moving around. And I have a cloak, and you can see there's definitely like a bowl. Oh, I got the fanny pack, but under the cloak, there's something across my back that's causing a bulge that I haven't taken out yet.
All right, and August he's dressed in a good, sturdy set of clothes, or they're a bit frayed and tattered. They're his traveling clothes. He has a long dark hair that's pulled into a tight braid, runs down his back. And his eyes are pale, like the color of like cloud wisps, just a little bit blue, a little bit white. And other than that, his traveling pack is on. But he also wears a Kiowan feather totem around his neck at all times, and just lightly bronzed skin. Kind of a thinner man. Definitely not as big as his companions.
So you three are quite the sight as you make it up the planks, making it up the tree. You see it is fairly early in the day. It's to put a clock time to it, it's probably about 8 or 9 a.m. All right. So there are some people walking around. There's a very heavy sense in the air, just kind of like that feeling you get when you enter a house that's had a lot of drama in it lately. You can feel it just hanging in the air all over this this village. And you, most importantly, you don't see any children running around. I mean, it's a giant treehouse. There should be some kids, right? There's none.
Yeah, this is why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
It seems.
As you guys begin to walk through, as you get closer to the top, if you don't make any stops, you'll eventually make it right to the top. There's basically a largish hut at the very top of this mangrove, with large double doors, and there seems to be two men standing in front of the double doors in, you know, the standard uniform attire, regular leathers, and they have spears, and one of them stops you, but, you know, obviously. How can we help you?
We three rangers have been sent, and he pulls the page out again. We understand you're having troubles here. We have come to correct them.
And he visibly brightens up. And I was like, oh, come on, you finally come. Yes, please come. The chief will want to see you immediately. And they open the door. They lead you in into this hut. It's dark. It's not like, you know, you can't see anything, but it's got that low glow in here. It's kind of shadowy. You see all kinds of strange tribal paraphernalia. There's mass all over the walls. There's ornamentations that are modeled after different spirit creatures and things like that. Pelts everywhere. And you see the what you assume to be the chief. He's not too tall of a man. He's about 5'9", maybe 10. Kind of slight. Kind of just bent over a table, looking at a map, going over it and just like, you know, both fists on the table. Just seems like he's been poring over this for quite a while. When he looks up, he's like, who dares? Oh, are you the rangers I sent out for? Please come in, please, quickly. I've been vexed for the last fortnight. It's the damnedest thing. Just, I'm sorry, I haven't introduced myself. I'm Chief Flame Speaker. And who might you all be?
I am August, map maker and explorer for the Rangers.
I am Nata, Slayer.
Anyway, the other goes, I am covered in mud. Do you have a towel?
Hey, it's just Jacob, get him a towel, please. Please, anything you all want. Food, if you're hungry. But yes, sit down, please.
You said food?
Yes, of course, yes.
Do you have any shale?
Yeah.
I mean kale?
Kale? Yes, we have kale. Of course. Get them. Bring a platter of food. Lots of kale. He's just like, go quickly. So they both leave, and it's just the four of you in the hut. He's like, I appreciate how quickly you've all come. I simply don't know what to do anymore. Every night for the past 12 days, someone has gone missing from our village in the middle of the night. We've so far it's been 5 women and 7 of our children. We're not a large village. We can't handle that, and not to mention I'm sure you can tell it's there's a very morose atmosphere. But
are there tracks of any kind or any signs of anything?
There's no signs of struggle. It's almost as if they just walk out of their houses into the swamp. And I don't know if any of you have ever been out to the swamp before, but trails don't last very long. We've seen tracks. It's always been a single set of footsteps, human. We assume our villagers, but then eventually at a certain point you lose the trail. And the Sunless Swamp is a dangerous place to begin with. So anyone we've sent out has either lost the trail or just hasn't come back. It's a cursed place out there.
You said this happens at midnight?
It's happened every night.
Every
night. We at a certain.
And no one's found any tracks or anything. As he's asking these questions, like he's completely serious. As he's asking these questions, he's taking pieces of kale and licking them and sticking them to the back of Nethin's cloak. And he keeps doing it as he's asking these questions.
He's like, there are tracks that lead out to the swamp, but like I said, they soon give way to the swamp. Once they step into the mud, it kind of forms back over. So it's very difficult to track things.
To the untrained eye, I could see that, and he switches over to start like wrapping them around August braid. Your kale is quite good.
Thank you. I'm glad it pleases you. And he's kind of looking at you like, okay, I guess this is just something they do.
His finger goes, fine.
August kind of turns a little bit, and he's like, I will never understand how you can eat that stuff.
No, trust me. It's as if it's great for you. It's as if you're not eating it at all.
Okay. So do you all what do you need from me? How can we help you in helping us?
So every night, 12 days.
For the past 12 days, yes.
I wouldn't mind seeing the home where the most recent abduction happened.
Okay. We can definitely arrange that. Sure. Is there anything else we can do for you?
Unless you can make the sun set faster, I don't believe so.
Okay. So, if you guys, he takes you, basically he himself walks you out. You go, basically cross a couple of bridges to other trees, and he takes you to a small hut that's just like planted on the side of a mangrove tree. It seems to be carved into the tree itself too. Like a small one-bedroom apartment style, and he's like, "This is the home of Margaret. She never married, never had children, so it's just herself in here. Feel free to investigate. No one should bother you."
All right. I guess I kind of give him a nod and head in and start looking around, kind of getting a lay of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Start tearing the place off.
So the place is like a one bedroom. There's it's got a homey feel to it. It's got lots of paintings and arts and just all kinds of little trinkets and things. It seems like she carved or purchased many little statuettes out of wood.
Is she there right now?
The chief?
No, whoever's. So there's only one person who lived here, and she was taken.
Or left on her own. It seems like she left, but yeah, she.
Is there any point of forced entry anywhere?
You can clearly see the doors isn't kicked in or anything like that. Doesn't seem like it got broken into. The windows, there aren't any windows actually. It seems like there's just certain shutters. You know, there's no glass windows here, but you don't see any broken shutters.
Okay.
But you could roll an investigation to see if you find something extra.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Specifically, looking around like the front main door. I'm gonna look around for like off footprints that untrained eyes wouldn't see and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'll do the same, like inside the place, if there's anything odd or off kilter.
Okay.
And I'd like to open the shutters and look outside along the walls, along the outside of the place. Also.
Very cool. All right. So that's going to be investigation from all of you guys.
all right, so
What do you got, Jordan?
how do we do this?
Roll the 4d6s. So
4d6s.
Yeah. So Jordan, for our viewers, he doesn't have any fate dice. So he is. Luckily, you can just use 4d6s. 1s and 2s are negatives. 3s and 4s are blanks, and 5s and 6s are pluses.
So you get two.
Damn it! Yeah, I got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4.
So negative 2. Plus your investigate. What's your investigate?
Plus 3.
Nice. Okay, so you got a 1 in total, which okay, I see you over there, Caleb. Hold on. You just got completely shown up. But okay, so Jordan, you got a 1, which in oh, can you hear me, Jordan?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know why when I go to mute, it switches off.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like you legit log off every couple like 10 minutes, but
I don't know.
well, it's fine. You come back on real quick. So yeah, with a 1, it's considered average. You find all those things I told you before. No points of force entry or anything like that. It's actually pretty interesting. It looks like she just walked out of this place. Caleb, you got a 4. You were looking at the general, like just the house itself, right?
The inside, yes.
Mm-hmm. It looks like with a 4, everything seems to be normal. There's no signs of scuffle, no signs of fight. You do see a cup by the bed with tea in it, and a book by pretty much like set down on the bed next to where she, like the side she would sleep on. The book is open, face down, like she just put it down to walk away. And the cup is half drank, and so half a cup of tea is still sitting there.
So it looks like she was like in bed and just drinking tea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she was in bed, drinking tea, reading a book, and just got up.
Mm-hmm.
I take the teacup and like go. Anything weird about it?
No. I'll keep the 4 that you got for investigation. Nothing weird. It seems like just general oolong tea. Cold. Maybe a little bit over brewed. But yeah, aside from that, normal.
All right, I'll put the teacup down. I'll walk outside. I guess who's it there? Orion.
Yeah. Well, Orion's checking the shutters, and I'm gonna move over to August real quick. So August, you were checking just outside the shutters, right? Kind of like checking out the walls.
Opening the shutters and looking at the walls for any signs of things. Yeah, I rolled. I split even 2 pluses, 2 minuses, so I just have the 4 for my skill.
Okay. So what you find, you find a couple of spots of like missing bark, but not huge, just like little things. Could have been a largish animal, maybe. But it doesn't seem like anything violent. But something does strike you, like you see that and kind of like you're like, well, it's nothing really, and you turn around, but you kind of see on the just like if you stick your head out the shutters and look to your left a little bit, there's like a little powdery residue on the exterior of the wall itself.
Orion. There might be something here.
I'll go over immediately. I'll look down and be like, all right, what is it?
No, here, this powder.
I mean, the first thing he'll do is he'll take the middle finger with his gloved hand, just dip it, and go and look at it and see what it is.
You die instantly.
So you legit touched it to your tongue?
Yeah, he's doing the whole thing, like the whole 9 yards. Like,
Nice.
He's like, it consists of.
Nice. Okay. All right. Roll me endurance real quick.
I guess this is one way to find where they went.
Oh my god, he's the worst dice I could ever pick. I got a 1, a 1, a 2, and a 6.
Jesus, man. That's a -2 again. Yeah.
Well, my endurance is +4.
Okay, so that's 2 total. Okay, you just touched it to your tongue. Your tongue goes numb. You do feel an interesting effect. The kind of like the lights get like all wavy for a second, and you start seeing these like these flares, multicolored, technicolored flares just pop up all over the place real quick. And you get really lightheaded, kind of like you lose a little bit of concept of where you're standing. But it passes in a moment. So, yeah.
I'm gonna put as he's stumbling, I'm gonna put like my hand on his shoulder.
Okay, I'm fine. This stuff is good.
What happened?
I don't know. Things got weird. It was wavy and flares popping up all over the place. And
I'll take some on a finger, and you see I like close to my eye. Smell. Can I try and figure out what it was?
Yeah.
as he's
alchemy?
I'm gonna take my hand and just smack his hand, and so it literally will, as he smells, go and it's like into his mouth. With my hand.
Seem very competitive.
So I like sniffed it, I guess, if he hit it.
You pass out. No. So for that, I would say you can use your lore to try to discern what this composition is, based on his description and kind of like a preliminary.
Yeah, I was thinking the kind of along the same thing from the description and site.
4 again.
I'll let him.
You said you got a 4, Caleb?
4, yep.
Okay.
My strongest skill, lore.
I think Joe's trying to say some stuff. I'm not sure though. He's like,
Yeah, my bad. I cut Caleb off there. I'll let him finish his point. My bad.
That's all good. So yeah, Caleb, or I should say Nata, you do some examination on it a little bit. You know, maybe you put it into like a flask with some other liquid to kind of try to disseminate what the ingredients are. Based.
Yeah, the fanny pack. I take like pour a little liquid in and shake it up.
Beginner's chemistry set you got in there.
Pretty much, yeah.
And based on what you're seeing here and what you heard from Orion, it's sounding like definitely powerful hallucinogenic. Not a recipe you're familiar with, but based on the ingredients, would probably make you highly susceptible to suggestion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as I'm holding this, I say, don't know exactly what this is. This very powerful. You may see other things. You may be very easy to manipulate mentally also. And then I look back and I says, she was in her bed and got up and just walked away. I'm wondering if this is what caused it.
You would also know that the delivery system, and if it's like a powder, like you found it, could just be like, if it got on your eyes or if you breathed it in, it would just almost take immediate effect. Or, tea.
Brewed in the tea.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think you didn't drink that tea, huh?
No, I did not. Now that I know what it looks like, can I go back in the house and try and find traces of this?
Yeah, for sure. That would be investigate again. I'll let you roll that again.
Alright, so 3.
Okay, and since you already knew about it and you kind of know what to look for now, in retrospect, I should say, your previous rolls would have created an aspect that you could tag for free to give you a +2 on this roll. So the aspect would have been like, on the trail. So that would make your new investigate a 5. Superb.
A 5.
Which would be sufficient. You see a little bit of this powder. It seems to have found itself behind the headboard for the bed. So you're discerning from that like maybe it was thrown in her face and it kind of just like, she inhaled some of it and maybe it got like behind there. So someone got in here, did that to her, and with a 5, honestly, you it's hard.
Is it in the tea?
What's that?
Is it in the tea?
No, you don't know. It's definitely not in the tea. It would have changed the color of the tea. So whatever made it definitely knew what they were doing and didn't want to make it. Didn't want to struggle.
I'll like from the headboard. I'll put some in my hand. I'll bring it out. I showed him. I'm like, there's more of this stuff. Right by the bed on the headboard.
So,
powder like this, you would have to throw it at them probably.
Say an open window.
Perhaps our monster is a very real person and not a monster at all.
Now, by the shutters, is there I guess like walk out by the shutter? Is there like, if you look in, is there like a direct view to the bed?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes. It's literally the same one. It's the same shutters where August found the powder on the outside of the wall. From there, you could throw the powder to the person. That seems like basically that's what you're putting together. It seems like someone climbed up, reached in, threw it to Margaret's face, and then at that point could tell her to do anything. Yeah. You also see that this is one of the houses closer to the exterior because as you're looking out, you have a very clear line of sight to the swamp, to the heart, towards the swamp.
Okay. So that's when Orion would probably speak up after. How do you say your character's name, Caleb?
Nata. N-A-T-A. Nata.
So after Nata says that, that's when Orion would probably be like, all right, so there's 2 things we have to do. 1, we need to keep some of this because it's a lot of fun. And he'll like scrape some of it off, but he doesn't really know where he's going to put it after it's in his hand. So he'll reach around behind Nata and peel off one of those kale leaves from earlier and just kind of wrap it up in there and put it away. He's not trying to hide it either, so if you notice, that's fine. And then he'll kind of look around the area, mostly he'll try and walk inside and look around the bed where he said he found the headboard dust.
Nata starts like, and then it goes back.
Yeah, at that point you feel like a whole bunch of kale just kind of like fall off as you do it.
Right. Yeah, seeing that, August kind of swings his head to get the braid to swing around. The braid again.
It wasn't all right. But anyway, so we walk into the house, and he walks in, looks around, and just you notice if you're really looking, he taps that Mad Eye Moody Eye patch just a little bit on the side, and you may see it sparkle, you may not. And he starts looking around. So I'm gonna try and use my red diamond eye, Sam, to pick up any tracks or anything from like near the headboard to the window.
Interesting. Okay. Because if I remember right, it picks up heat signatures. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm a predator. Get over it.
You roll because you use survival to pick up tracks. Roll survival. We're at a plus. Did I say what kind of bonus the eye gave you on your sheet or no? I don't think I did. No, well, that's fine. It'll give you a +2 on your survival checks here to pick up heat signatures.
Okay. I don't really want to roll again, but I'm going to do it.
You gotta have more D6s, man. Like,
I'll try. I got. Let me pull them over here so I can look at them. 2 1s, a 2, and a 3.
Jesus Christ.
But hold on, my survival plus the +2 for my eye gives me a +7.
So my 1, 1, 2, and a 3. So that puts you at 4 total. Okay. So.
And while you do that, I'm gonna stop at some D6.
All right. So you did get a total of 4. Sorry, which is great on the Fate core ladder. So with that, you find only one set of trail. You see footsteps, and they're faint now. They're fading, but you still see the residual heat because she was barefoot. Right. So you see her footsteps making a straight line out of her bedroom, out the door. And if you continue to follow it, it's leading down the steps, on and just out into the swamp.
Yeah, he definitely would follow. I mean, like anyone watching would see him like hunched over, like with the eye just only like this, as he's following these footsteps, walking out the door.
Chief Flame Speaker is just like, do you have a lead? What's happening?
We met. And I'll relay it to the other two as well. Netta, I believe your theory may have been correct. There are one set of tracks leaving this bed and going straight into the swamp.
So we don't see any actual tracks, though. This is the heat signature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's only me seeing them. But...
Yay for magic. Okay,
so I look down. I don't seem to see anything, but I see Orion. Obviously, he sees something is tracking, so I'll follow him.
Yep, August definitely, knowing the skill of his fellows, he trails right along, knowing that he's seeing where we need to go. He's on a trail of something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and partway towards the swamp, he'll stop and go, "Wait, maybe we should check and see what was at the window." And he'll walk back over there and he'll check for tracks outside the window, like where they would have been able to like toss the powder bag in.
Gotcha.
There were some marks that could have been made from some sort of spikes on his shoes or something. There's some marks along the wall.
Yeah, I'll look those over too.
We'll keep the same roll. 4 is a really good roll. With that, you do not see any heat signatures on the tree or on the side of the building.
All right. With him talking about the spike thing, can I look over that and see if I would know what would make that kind of?
All right, I'm speculating. There were little marks. I don't know if they actually went to anything.
All right. Well, so anyway, he'll look back and be like, "Well, if her feet and her tracks are still warm, it would be logical that whatever tried to get her and make her do this would be too. But there's nothing here. Whatever threw this fantastically fun powder at her did not give off any kind of heat.
I love that Orion is down to party.
Natak could probably pull out like 20 drugs right now if you wanted to.
The guy already went through your bag.
So, Chief Fire Speaker.
Which ones are the good ones?
Chief Flame Speaker kind of interjects. It's like he kind of overheard you saying that. It's like, so you think you have enough to go on to track them down?
Well, we have enough to track her down, and that would send us into the swamp.
The only lead we have.
That might be where we have to go. If we can find her, maybe we can find where all of them have been going. 12 people walking into the swamp, they have to be going somewhere.
Okay. Well, yes. Of course, please do your best. I'll give you anything you need, and of course, there will be a reward for you on your return. We'll gather up as much money as we can.
I do have one request before we leave. It may be odd. I need a bag of rocks.
Just plain rocks?
I mean, if they're nice-looking rocks, that's better. But any kind of rock.
He turns around to those two guards. He's like, "Get him rocks. Get him river rocks right now. Give him a big old bag of it. Go, run."
No rocks in the river.
No? Okay.
No.
All right. Other rocks. No river rocks. Stop that. Go.
If they touch water, I send them back.
Get away from the river. Go out and get different rocks.
Do you have perhaps some type of shoe that might be easier to walk on top of the mud, so we do not sink as we move through?
Yes, of course. We have swamp shoes. Yes. Come with me. I'll take you to the
one of them is
store.
going to need to be. We will need one pair to be very, very rugged and durable. And he looks over to Orion. Our friend is heavy.
Orion already has like huge feet.
He thinks no one's noticing, so he's got that piece of kale that he wrapped the stuff up in. And he's like slowly unfolding it. When you look at him, he's like, back and puts it back in his bag. He's like, yeah, durable, yes.
So yeah.
Do we need to go into the swamp? Do we need a boat of some type?
Please say no.
What's that?
Please say
no. The swamp can be deep in some places, but it's very the canopy is so thick, and the trees are so close together that the root system forms as close to what you can get to solid floor out there in most spots. Not to say that there aren't dangers out there. You could sink into the mud if you're not careful, but getting a boat through most of the Sunless Swamp is nearly impossible.
Don't follow the lights.
Stay on the roots, and we should be fine and dry. And, of course, with some special shoes in case we have to step into the filth.
I would suggest wearing the shoes.
It's a swamp. It's all filth.
The shoes sound like a good idea.
So after not too long, like maybe 10 minutes, you get your bag of rocks, and you were supplied with 3 pairs of swamp shoes, which are just glorified snowshoes.
Yep.
Yes, there. Like I said, the Sunless Swamp is, by legend, a cursed swamp. So please be careful out there. There are many dangers. The creatures there. There are many restless spirits. So, may the good and gracious spirits be with you and protecting you.
I don't need no spirits. I've got good old Gooey here, and he holds up his crossbow. I've been looking to add a few more trinkets to the old belt here. Because this hose that he has that goes from these canisters to this crossbow has just like a string of like key rings with different pieces of like teeth, or it might be an ear, or it might be a bone, just like all strung down the thing.
Be careful of spirits.
Yeah, August clutches his little feather totem. I think the spirits will not give us trouble.
Okay, well then, safe travels, my friends, and hopefully saviors. We will await your return. And with that, I assume you guys depart?
Onward to the swamp.
Right? Yeah, you give him a nod and a wave and look back. Shall we continue? Into the swamp we go?
All right, you're in the lead. You're the only one that can see these.
Okay, and he's kind of like duck waddling, trying to get used to these weird shoes. He waddles forward. He refocuses the diamond eye, trying to keep the trail. Looking back, making sure that his comrades are still there.
Okay. And you can keep that trail. For the most part, out here, they were pretty right about the root system giving you some solid ground. Not that the dirt forms into solid clumps, but more like the fact that you're just stepping on roots. So you are going kind of slow, trying to watch your steps, watching most of the roots break under Orion's feet for some reason. But Orion is following a trail, faint though it may be. You got a survival 5. I'm not even going to make you roll. You can keep. You're just keeping an eye on this set of women's footprints, and so you enter the Sunless Swamp, and it is a long, hot, muggy travel. Laden with mosquitoes and all kinds of various nastiness. It's honestly, I can't describe how uncomfortable walking through this is. It's just every step you take in this heat makes your clothes and your leathers stick to you. You have sweat pouring down your back. Mosquitoes and all kinds of other weird bugs keep sticking to your face and trying to get into your eyes and ears. Every time you miss the roots, you sink about a foot into the mud. So, fuck that.
2 feet if you're me.
2 feet if it were you, yep. Half the time when you step on the roots, you just go through. So you're doing some damage to the wildlife, to the trees out here. The mangroves are all gonna die.
I never said I was a friend of the forest.
Speaking of friends of the forest, as we're going through, I'm gonna give out a bird call and see if I get an answer back from any of the birds riding around in the swamp.
Sure thing. Did we tie that to a skill or no?
We did not tie it to a skill. It was just I think more in like a language side.
Right. So go ahead and give me. Let's go with rapport. You got rapport?
Rapport? I do not.
It's alright, just give me a straight roll.
I have academics, lore. I don't know if it would have been on one of those.
I think this is more of a social call.
Right.
I'd like to see how you use the academic control to do it.
Yeah.
Academics will.
Presence?
Presence is a good one.
Let's
go with presence. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you for listing off all your skills. No.
No, that is just a 1. Just
total?
a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, total 1.
So you guys hear probably August like whistling, making some bird calls. It's not too odd for people to do this kind of stuff out here. But after about, I'm not gonna lie, after about half an hour of this, even you, August, are like, are there like no birds out here? But eventually a stork, well, not a stork, I should say more like a large sand crane, comes out just like he's like, it's a he. You know it's a he. Is just pecking its way through the mud, trying to get worms, and kind of looks up at you, cocks his head, and squawks at you, which you clearly understand to be like, "Hello."
Yeah, I'm gonna call back a greeting. Good afternoon. Kind of whistle out to it. I'm actually gonna, ask him a question if I can. I'm gonna ask if he's seen any things like us moving through the swamp. If they, I'm not sure if they disappeared anywhere or.
Okay. First time I've had to roll dice today. So it kind of looks at you, thinks what you're assuming it's thinking, pecks at the mud again for a little bit, and then, human? Yeah. Last night. Walked right through there.
Were they followed? Or were they following?
Just seemed to be walking. I didn't see it. I heard it from Owl. Lots of strange things happened last few moons.
Oh, I thank you. Enjoy your day.
And he just like literally like you guys see the bird do a little mini bow, and then just go about its day pecking at the worms.
Yeah, so Ryan's standing there, like looking back and forth, like really freaked out between the bird and August. Like, what is he doing?
Well, while that was going on, I'm gonna have Nata look for like a swamp moss or some type of new component I could use in like alchemy.
Very cool.
Something that I don't. So like some type of ingredient I don't know about.
Very cool. I would say
while the bird call is going on, I guess I'll do this.
I would say either lore or survival.
Oh wow!
And I pass along the information.
7, 8.
Okay.
So I'm not like
7.
being greedy with it.
Jeez. Okay. So
I have +5 and I got three pluses and 1 minus.
So yeah, while August is explaining to Orion what the bird said to him, you're just digging through the mud. Because you think you found something that you remember from one of your books.
I stick my head in the mud and I pull out some like chunk of something.
Yeah, no, it's legit. Like it's a whole like cluster of mushrooms. So they are swamp shade mushrooms, and they are very effective in sleeping aids and things of that nature.
So, and just having watched August talk to a bird, and then watching Neta just like riling around wrist deep in mud, he just kind of looks between them and goes, "You guys are weird." And then he looks back at August and be like, "Okay, are we done with the bird now?"
With this one, yes.
Okay.
Later on, there's an owl I must find. There's been many strange things coming.
About this bird. So we're done with this bird.
We're done with this bird.
Okay, good. And at that point, he pulls back the string on his crossbow and just raises it towards the bird.
Oh, no. You monster.
Wait, hold on. Perhaps not him. He was kind to us.
But you said we're done with the bird.
We're done speaking with the bird.
Okay, what did you bring to eat into the swamp?
You didn't bring any food? I brought
I didn't bring any food. Did you bring any food?
Yes, of course. We were going on an expedition. Every book I've read talks about being prepared properly for an expedition.
All right, well, you read this book. I'm going to shoot this bird.
You open my pack and I'm like, I got like a whole bunch of that kale that you were reading earlier.
I told you I don't eat kale. All right. I'm shooting this bird. Are we done talking? I'm shooting this bird. Look at the foot of that bird. That would look so good right here. And he points this like open spot on his thing.
I throw a quick whistle, like a shrill, like flea kind of panic whistle. If you can catch him, perhaps.
The sand crane just wastes no time and like literally looks up and just flies away into the canopy. I just like the image that like you're just like lining up the shot and then like into the tree and you're like, oh, damn it. Like,
Yeah, he just like doesn't say anything. He just puts the crossbow down, lets the string back down, walks over to August and he's like, because August is probably a good foot taller than he is. Looks at him and goes, "Come here," like beckoning him down.
I'll tell you what. You can shoot the next one if it's a jerk. He was very polite.
Hold up. I said, "Come here."
I'm not bleeding down for you to slap me again. I learned my lesson last time.
I don't think he learned your lesson. He'll grab the braid and just like pull his head down and be like, it just like it's like a heavy like, you know those thick gloves that like welders wear. That's what he has on, and he just like whoosh, just right across the side of his face like, "Don't stop me from shooting the bird again," and let's go with the braid.
I did nothing to stop you.
And you know what?
Shoot. You missed.
You know what?
It's just
You probably could be putting a cold piece of meat on that face right now if you'd let me shoot the bird. Maybe, anyway, I guess we'll move on.
If you can still find it, or if you still see the trail, then we should. And he kind of rubs his cheek a little bit.
all right. And with that, you guys probably continue onward. Just a shout out to Joe. I think your camera turned off. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Oh yeah. That was a little courtesy camera off for this.
No worries.
Apologies.
What were they saying? Right. So you guys continue onward. Orion's probably hungry as the day goes forward.
I'll pass him some nice salted pork that I have. It's all cured and good to go.
Nice.
And a nice big hunk of that.
He takes it, looks at it, and then he just like, no thanks. And he just puts it up where he slapped him in the face and goes, "Just hold that there." And as he keeps walking out, you'd see him reach into that bag that he got and just kind of like pull some rocks out. And he would just keep going on. He's like, "I'm not hungry."
All right. So Orion, you're still leading the way. And yes, you guys continue walking for what seems like a few hours. It's hard to tell because when they call this the Sunless Swamp, they're not kidding. It is impossible to see the sun through the canopy. It is luckily radiant light pierces through, so you guys can see, but you cannot tell what time it is unless you have a timepiece on you. So you continue onwards. Did you have something to say, Caleb?
Can I try? You said it was hours. Can I try and craft something in those couple hours?
Oh, you guys are walking, so it might be difficult, but it depends on what you're trying to craft.
Like a salve from those mushrooms.
Ah. So you're just literally walking, and you just got mortar and pestle. You're just watching your feet, make sure you don't trip, and I like it.
Every so often, look up, make sure they're still in front of me.
Yeah. What's your craft? Just your.
+4.
Yeah, no worries. I think I've told you if you're not on a time crunch, you can just go ahead and say you've made it. You have the materials for it. You mix it with a couple of things that you have, and you've made yourself a nice strength 4 sleeping potion. You decide what delivery method, but I think it's usually probably a salve or something.
Yeah, I was going to make it a salve, and yes. Would it be enough to give it one dose to each of the other members, or is it just one dose?
For that, roll me a craft.
All right.
Let's see how well you do.
That's awesome. Just want to say it. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, with the alchemy?
6. 6.
6 total. Okay. I had the DC in my head set at 4, and you beat it. So you had enough to make 2 potions. Okay.
There.
So not quite 3, but you know, you did what you could.
I don't need one. That's all right. So at some point, Nata will come up to each of you, offer you this bottle. It's got like molasses type quality, just a thick liquid. I guess August 1st is here for your weapon.
I guess I could dip some shot in that. Kind of says, looking down. He's got a small pistol tucked through part of his belt. Coat kind of reveals it occasionally as he's walking.
Dip the bullets in, shake it around.
Yeah, definitely.
You see, I kind of like take it. I take it. I sniff it a little bit. And like, should put whatever hits to sleep.
That will come in very handy, I'm sure. Thank you. And he stows it away into his bag. Actually, probably in with his cartography stuff, so it doesn't rattle around and break. Kind of sets it in with his inkwells.
Okay.
And then right after that, I'll go up to Orion and I'll say, Orion, here. And I hand you probably the same bottle. It's got this thick, let's say it's a red liquid. It says, this should help. Put on your weapon.
And Orion would take it and be like, thanks, and kind of like tuck it away. Because the one thing you notice, he does carry a crossbow, but he doesn't carry any ammunition that would come with a standard crossbow. I'll find some use for it. And he kind of leans to the side and pulls out that piece of kale and sprinkles some of that powder into the sleeping potion and recorks it and just puts it back in his bag.
Oh, Lord.
You're the worst person. I love it. All right. So you guys have been doing this stuff for a couple of hours. The scenery is seemingly unchanging for the most part. But after a bit of time, a nice break in the monotony is a chorus of frog ribbits, of that like deep ribbit that they do. You know, I cannot imitate it for the life of me. So that seems to be going on, and after a few minutes of this, it gets pretty obvious. The area smells like rank. So you smell like rotten eggs. It's pretty gnarly.
I think there is a sulfur event or something around. Unless, Orion, is that you? What did you have for dinner last night?
I don't ever smell it. And you'll notice that too about him. Like, he didn't sweat at all. Like, there's no sweat marks on his clothes. There's no like goo marks from where he swatted bugs that landed on him. Nothing. But he does look back and go, I do smell it though. But I thought it was the ferryman again.
I'm almost certain it is sulfur.
Everyone, just give me your notice numbers.
Notice 3 for me.
Notice 3.
Same.
0.
Zeros. Okay, so 3.
I do also have the thing with the breeze, the passive area perception, feeling through the air.
Yes.
Also, that's the thing. That's an extra or whatever. Is that one I have to spend for, or is that always
happening? Always happening. So
okay.
That would actually.
Oh, that's right. Passive.
So that keeps you pretty aware of what's in your surroundings. That just doubly confirms what you're seeing. You both, unfortunately, not Nata. You're too busy finishing off the sleeping potion, probably. You guys notice those you guys are like not surrounded, but you see those frogs all over the place. Turns out they're not frogs, they're toads. And you're probably both experienced enough people to know it's like, oh, those are torch toads. Kind of a rare find, because they usually only live deep swamps. And it kind of occurs like, oh, I guess like it must be mating season or something. And as that thought occurs, you see one of them just kind of like have this long ribbit that ends in a burp, and a small, like a large, I'm gonna say like fist-sized ball of fire just kind of like erupts from its mouth. You guys would know that that's just like, oh, that's like their mating ritual, like to show off. And that ball kind of goes out for a full couple feet out into the air, and suddenly erupts into this huge pillar of fire. And you smell that burning, rotten egg smell again. So you guys might be putting 2 and 2 together here. You guys...
Yeah, pretty certain I've probably read about them. Academics 5 and on the off chance, librarians know me by name.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to roll. This is definitely...
Very, very well read.
This is definitely a swamp gas field, probably heavy in methane. Torch toads are basically immune to fire. And so this is a heightened display, and you guys are just right in the middle of this field.
Yeah, Orion is a hunter. Like he sees the toads first and starts to get like all Steve Irwin on it. He's like, oh my god, would you look at that? He's like, like crikey. He's like, that I need that eye. I need the eye of a torch toad. And then he sees the ball like shoot up and go, damn it.
Yes, there's a lot of natural gases seeping out of the ground here. That's what's igniting. This could potentially be a dangerous place. The methane builds up beneath the swamp and rises and bursts through the top. Apparently with very, very dangerous effects from the mating ritual of these toads.
As he's saying that...
I don't care how it happens. I just don't want it to happen.
As he was doing that explanation, literally a foot behind your little gathering, one of those, you hear that... Poof, and it just... you guys could feel the heat of it on the back of your necks. That was way too close for comfort. So what I'm going to do here is ask each one of you independently what you're doing to get out of this swamp gas field. So you guys tell me how you guys want to do this, and I'll tell you what to roll. So how would your character get out of this situation, Joseph?
I think I might, and if I'm thinking of this right, for stunts I spend a fate coin. Is that how that works? Or like that refresh that I start with?
That refresh that you paid for it in the beginning is, think of that as like a permanent cost, so it's you don't have to pay for it. It's an ability that you have access to.
Okay, it doesn't come out of like that 3 refresh that I have left?
No.
I can just
no,
use
it. Those 3 fate points
cool.
you can use for other things. Mm-hmm.
All right, then light as air with the extra athletics and sprint if I need to keep moving.
Nice. So literally,
I think we should go quickly.
I like the idea of you literally like jumping from root to root to try to get out of here as quickly. This is the most agile you guys have seen him. So go ahead, roll me sprint. Yeah. So athletics +2.
Okay. Sprint. All right. That is going to be a total 3.
3. Okay. You are going to get out by the skin of your teeth. The difficulty is a 4. So that is basically it's technically a failure, but in this situation I'm going to consider it like failure, success with cost. Okay. So you were like literally sprinting across, very nimble, very agile. Kind of like doing that Avatar wind running kind of deal. But unfortunately, you happen to at the last minute trip, like one of the roots grabs your foot, and you slam into and literally sink into the mud, and it happened to be a sulfuric methane vent, and that is just seeped into you. You have the aspect put on you. What's the word? What's going to be the word for that? Wretched smell.
Wretched smell.
Yes. You cannot sneak up on anything with any kind of sense of smell right now. So write that somewhere on your character sheet. It's not a consequence. It's just an aspect. It can be removed, but it would take effort. All right. Why don't you choose who goes next, Joseph?
I'm actually curious to see how our giant heavy man makes it through this. This is potentially could be bad.
It's going to be solely because I need to have that trophy on my belt. So what Ryan's going to do is he sees August take off and then trip, holding in his laugh. And he has this grappling hook, this chain, like ninja-looking grappling hook on his belt. You don't see where it ends. It goes into his pants almost, but you don't see where it is. And he unhooks that and goes, I need one of those eyes. And he takes the grappling hook and just whips it and tries to pull one of the toads back to him.
All right, sure thing. We can do that. That's
So do we have to explain everything we want to do?
Well, this is for the escape. This is probably something you're doing on your way to escape.
No, it's yeah. No, yeah.
So go ahead and roll ranged.
Come on, new dice, don't fail me. 2 2s and 2 3s.
You haven't rolled higher than a 4.
Shit.
Okay, so
well,
that's negative.
My range is +5, so I got
a 3 total. That's enough to hit a toad. So yeah, you hook it, you bring it back, and the toad's kind of you're just looking at the toad's face, and it's looking at you, and it does ribbit, and that little puff of flame comes out. And roll me athletics.
I don't know which dice to use. Maybe 2 of each. See if it helps. I got a 2, 2 3s, and a 4.
Okay. All right. So that is -1 plus your athletics.
+4, so 3.
You have really high athletics. Good for you. So 3 total. Okay, so you're going to take 1 physical stress, which isn't going to really count for much on you. Actually, no, you don't take any, do you?
No, I have armor +1.
Yeah. Okay. So describe how this thing erupts a ball of fire that engulfs your body, and you are perfectly fine. Your clothes, some parts of your clothes are on fire, but, you're fine.
So, so you'd see the ribbit, and, I assume you guys probably go wide-eyed thinking, this is it, he's gone. Because he's literally looking at this toad. And the pillar just erupts, and Orion's just gone. You can't see him anymore. And as it dissipates, he's standing there, still staring at the toad. And just, looks over his shoulder and just... and he puts out that little flame on his shoulder.
I love it. You don't even have...
And so, at that point, what he's going to do is he's going to look at it and be like, this could be problematic. And he's going to pull out that vial that Nata gave him, and he's going to dump a little bit of it into the toad's mouth.
Okay. The thing falls,
and then
fast asleep. Immediate.
Yeah, and that's where he's going to take off running.
I was going to say, honestly, you being who you are, you don't even need to run. You could walk out of this field and you know that every explosion is just going to be about as effective as what just happened to you. So I love
That's true.
I
So,
love the
yeah,
image of you just walking through all these. It's like poof, poof, and you're just fine. Like,
yeah, you guys are just seeing like walking through like God, just like yes, I am the best.
See, like a fire is coming toward him. He just takes out a cigarette. Lights it.
So like that boy. Look over and be like, you guys want a toad? I can get you a toad.
all right. And with that, it just leaves you, Nata. How does Nata plan to get
Alright.
out?
I'm not super agile, but I'm gonna pretty much try the same thing that August did, but I'm not gonna be like the nimble, like jumpy troop, but I will try and just more flat out run and kind of stay on the ground and just kind of run
Okay.
as I see fire starting to blow up.
All right.
And I make sure that one bottle, the red like swirling liquid on my chest, I kind of like cover that up
Good idea.
as I run.
All right, so straight up, tried and true army method: run and hope you don't get shot. All right,
Pretty much.
roll
Yeah.
athletics, buddy.
4.
4. Okay, that is
I have 3
that is right on the
athletics.
dot. That is a success, just not perfect success. Technically, in Fate, that is success with a failure. But for this example, it's not worth it. Not like what happened where you got a 3. Sorry, buddy. So you get out. It's not super graceful, but
Yeah.
your primary goal of protecting that potion is good. You almost face plant. You bounce off a tree, but you make it past the methane gas. And you guys are all on the other side. And you guys can still hear the rip and going on behind you. Yep, and
we wait for Ryan to just kind of
with a snoring toad. Like,
As you get to the other side, August is standing there quite miserable. The back of him is still rather clean, maybe just a little bit. And he turns around to face you, and it's just mud all the way down the front of it.
searching the tunnel like
I smell like the boatman.
That's where Orion would just like come
you
stumbling
do.
up his
Yes.
toad. Yeah, he would just come stumble up his toad and just look at August and.
Using his water skate to kind of wash some of the mud off of his face.
Well, now that that's over, he'll be taking my trophy now. He'll kneel down. He puts his knee on the back of the toad and reaches out and like flips open this little like toolkit that he has. Pulls out this one little knife that's got a divot in it and just like starts digging out this toad's eye. And it's almost a swift motion, like how he does it with the tools. That he's done this like a million times. Like takes the eye, puts it on one of those key rings, feeds it through a hole, and just like loops it over the hose that goes from his crossbow to the canisters. It's like, all right, that's good. And with that, he times it and like waits for one of the frogs to rivet, and just like rugby punts the toad back into one of the pillars of fire.
oh,
Well, I know it can't
Yeah.
hurt it.
no, yeah, I get it. And with that, I think that is a perfect image to go on our break for. So,
I don't know about
yeah,
perfect,
no.
but yeah.
So, let's go ahead and take a 5-ish minute break. Do what you got to do,
Yeah.
and we'll be back in a few minutes, yeah?
Cool. Sounds
See you
good.
guys in a bit.
Hello.
Hola. So you're in Buffalo now? Awesome.
I am. Why is my camera frozen? So. There it is. Okay. So yeah, we got back just before Labor Day.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so my kid's good. Whew. Oh boy, my kids turn 4 next month.
Jeez.
Yep, twins.
Yeah, we haven't even started the potty training thing. Well, we're trying to. He's going to be 3 in December.
Okay. That's yeah, 3 is an interesting age for our. That was when the everyone talked about the terrible 2s. No, it's the terrible 3s.
Oh, his 2s are terrible. So I'm not looking forward to the 3s at all.
See, mine went through the 2s. They were fine. It was when they were 3s when they, like when you want to hug them and strangle them at the same time.
That's the thing that I always tell people. I'm like, I would never do it. I would never ever shake my baby, but I get it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you think about it. You think about it every once in a while. Just
Uh-huh.
maybe it would get her to be quiet for just a little bit.
Like a split second, you go to a really dark place and you're like, no.
My wife is over there. All she heard was my response. She doesn't hear you guys, so she's like, "What are you talking about?" Oh man,
A dark thought every parent has.
there's a horror movie with Nick Cage that's like there's a virus that specifically removes that part of the parent's brain that says you shouldn't hurt your child, like that says that your child's important to you. So I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's really good.
What a really obscure plot.
It's literally just like all those things that keep you from being, a monster and hurting your child. It just strips those things from you. So then things get crazy.
I ran a World of Darkness game at one point, and there was this weird lake, and it just it would increase the paranoia of the town. And at one point, it was every thought that you had in your head would start coming true. Because in your head, you're always like, "I want to kill that person." Well, when you thought that, it actually
that's
happened.
Sick, man. That's awesome.
Damn, that sounds pretty wild.
A world with no filter. That's kind of how Orion operates. I didn't give him a filter.
I love that, by the way.
Right? The invention of lying kind of makes me think of that. Just speak the truth all the time.
Oh man. By the way, I want to give you guys a hell of a shout out. I love the way you guys are portraying your characters and are taking to just the world itself. I appreciate that. So I'm digging it.
It's pretty awesome, man.
It's fun.
I've been dying for for the last week. I'm like, I can't wait for the torch toads to come up. I'm like,
I didn't want to say because I didn't want to be like cliche, but I was sitting there thinking of like it's Princess Bride. They're rodents of unusual.
Yeah.
The fire swamp.
I didn't even think about that until I said it to you guys, and I'm like, oh, these are the rats. Yeah. I'm like, well, no, was it the rats that shot fire in that movie? I can't remember.
No, it was the fire swamp. So there's random times like you would hear that and it would shoot up fire.
Yeah, and the rats.
But there was also the ROTUSs.
Rodents of unusual size.
Yeah, we've got toads of unusual stink.
Yeah. All right.
It's cool. It's cool.
Cool. I appreciate that. So yeah, if you guys are ready, I think we can continue onwards through this trek in the swamp.
Indeed.
Okay. So, It's still miserable. It's fucking terrible. It still hasn't let up. This even though you're constantly in the shade, you feel like every breath you take is like almost being half submerged in the water because of the humidity. You've eaten at least a half a pound of bugs just from walking, and yeah, and you've just completely forgotten the fact that you're drenched in sweat. It's that normal to you now. That's how sodden you are. Your boots are filling with mud. It's just, this level of discomfort is rare, even for hunters of your for rangers of your prowess. So as you guys have continued this for hours, you can only assume at this point it must be mid-afternoon. You're still, Orion is still following a faint trail. But you think it might be getting stronger. So, that's something. If I remember correctly, what's your character's name? August. You have a notice of 3, yes?
Yes, that's correct.
And you have a particular aspect, the wind thing, right?
Yeah, the kind of seeing through the air, or that perception, or feeling the air around.
Okay. This is a very lively place, right? A swamp is full of all these little things making noises all over the place. Out of that din, you pick up 2 birds on a branch, maybe 15 feet above you. You know, maybe a bit to your right. And you can understand them. You can see them. You can visualize them too. They seem to be you're assuming nocturnal nocturnal owls. Well, all owls are nocturnal. What am I talking about, Sam? They look in your hazy image to be owls, since you can't actually see them. And they seem to be talking to each other sleepily, saying things like, "Oh, it's just not the same these past few moons. You know, things are happening now. You know, we have to be careful. You know, we gotta keep on our guard." You're just catching a couple words here and there, or in your case, chirps.
Right. Yeah. So Nathan and Orion will all of a sudden hear, just out of the blue, August just hoo 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 kind of noise, but he's actually like, "What's troubling you, friends?"
You the 2 owls kind of fly out low.
He hoots another quick one of you know, no need to make yourself seen. It's safer if you stay hidden.
Yeah, and they.
Are you talking? Are you talking to them?
The owls kind of like make a big circle, and then just land, and you can hear them chuckling. It's like, "Oh, have we ever seen something like this? One of the manlings are speaking to us. That's new."
And at Natal's comment, he, you know, August just holds up his finger. He's like, you know, well, one moment. You know, kind of like, you know, hold on, like in the middle of something. And then he, you know, throws another quick hoots. He's like, you know, it tells him, you know, it's I was born under different circumstances. But tell me, what is it that what is it that has you worried? What has you feeling like there is danger for you here? Why are things not the same?
Oh. And like one looks to the other, like with the head kind of like turning that way only owls can turn their heads. Should we speak of it? He's like, I don't see why not. They made it this far into the swamp. And they're just kind of like bouncing up a little bit. And they look at you. Well, we were just talking about how things have been very different lately. Certain creatures aren't respecting their territories anymore. just trouncing all over other people's territories. Endangering us at night, eating up birds that shouldn't be eaten. We've lost many brethren.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That is just awful. What's not respecting the boundaries?
The Salic.
And then in what was it, Thermian, I guess would be the standard or common tongue?
Yeah.
In the common tongue, for them to understand, he repeats it, Salic. He says for both of them to hear. And then asks in owl, or in the bird speak, I'm not familiar with Salic. Unless actually Academics 5 would make me familiar with that
Academics 5 would make you very familiar.
Okay.
The Salic are a race of... They're a humanoid creature. I say humanoid, and I should reassess that word. It's not humanoid. They're bipedal. They're basically big lizards or crocodile-looking things that walk on two legs and can use tools. They have intelligence. In layman's terms, they're lizard folk.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So with an Academics 5, just no need to roll. You would know that they are intelligent. They can plan. They have leadership, usually tribal. And they come in 3 types. Just genetically, they can be born in 3 variations that to the layman are called gecko, iguanas, and komodos. All right.
Oh, okay. Danger Will Robinson.
Now I have lore 5. Would that give me any addition?
That's once he starts talking to you, yeah, we can get to that.
Yeah, as you said, Salic.
Oh, he did. Yeah. Then all that information I just told him with your lore, you would understand. You would immediately, intuitively know. And if you wanted, with your lore and him saying that, you could turn on that one stunt that we talked about.
Yes, the favorite enemy. All right.
Just so everyone knows,
That definitely.
for all the viewers at home, he has a stunt called Favorite Enemy. Since he is a slayer, I didn't want it to waste it by just guessing at what monster might be here. So he can turn it on with a little bit of research. But he does have a lore 5, and lizard folk are pretty common. So you have...
Yeah, and kind of piecing it together, August will turn and say, I think I understand why you might not have been able to... Actually, I don't know, he's looking for heat. I would not say that, never mind. I think the marks that we saw on the outside of the house, I think those were perhaps claws, by chance. Might be why I could not find a human trail. I still don't see the human trail you're following, friend Orion. But that is perhaps why you could not see the tracks of a human.
Claws.
Perhaps they were the claws of a Salic along the walls of the house.
A Salic.
And I hoot again to the owls and tell them, be safe and thank you very much for very much for sharing this information with me.
And be safe in your travels.
Yes, apparently. You as well, friend.
As a hunter, would I know anything about Salics, or would I have to roll a lore for that?
What's your lore right now?
+1.
Okay. That is not high enough. You would have to roll. I'm sorry.
I freely share, because of August feeling like a teachable moment, and I relate all of the information about the 3 varieties that they are born with, and the different variations of them.
He goes on. Orion hears what he needs to hear. He's like, okay, just shut up.
Yeah, I can see Nata and August have the same thing. Like, we can teach, and we both start saying the same things. Like, there's 3 types. I know this type. I know that type.
Right, adding to each other's information and building it. And Orion's just like, all I'm hearing is trophy.
Orion at one point just like stop.
So, you're saying they're lizards. They're giant lizards.
Of a sort, yes, yes. Not so much lizards.
So,
But
Very
yes.
dangerous.
they'd be cold-blooded.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
I'm not going to be able to track them then. This could present, well, not by any methods I have been using to track the human.
Well, the
But,
footprints are
still our-
footprints.
That is still our best lead that we have.
yes, we'll have to keep a sharper eye out for footprints. And with that, he'll, like, for the first time, he'll, like, kind of adjust the diamond eye. And, like, he'll look around for other footprints. Now, he's scanning for, like, not just her footprints, but general any footprints and see if they're all going the same direction kind of thing. To pick up anything
Sure.
like that.
Actually, at this point, I would ask you to roll a survival.
No, I don't like rolling.
I know.
And the owls, they did say they are breaking the boundaries of respected within the forest, eating things they should not be eating, going places they should not be going.
Upsetting the balance.
Indeed.
Well, that went under the couch. Hold on, let me roll. I got a 1, 2, 3, and 5.
1, 2, 3, and 5. So that's a -1.
-1.
And I was using
Yes.
survival. So 4.
Okay. And now with this new information of what to look for,
Well, I also have the diamond eye gives me +2, right? So 6.
it gives you +2 to picking up heat signatures.
Right,
Mhm.
that's right. So yeah, 4.
But with that, you start picking up signs. You're like, okay, you see some broken twigs. These guys are good. They're trained, stealthy creatures, but you're a trained hunter. There's not much that can hide their tracks from you once you know what you're looking for. You know. So you see some scales actually, but before you wouldn't have noticed you wouldn't have paid much mind to the glint. But you see some green scales. And then it's like, okay, you got this. And it's going in the same direction as the footprints. Not right next to, but close, within earshot.
Alright, so yeah, he'll pick up the scale and just like hold it up and be like, looks like you were right. Look at this. And see all these broken twigs around here? They follow the same general direction of those footprints we were following to get in here.
I will take your word for it. I'm afraid I don't see much more than broken twigs. I trust
Well,
you will not lead us astray.
Well, at this point, we just need to find our lizards. We find our lizards, we find our missing people.
Salix it is.
Or we perhaps find the remains to bring home so they can deal with them as per their custom. I'm afraid
Thanks.
they may have been eaten.
That's a little more morbid, but yeah, we could do that too.
All right. So you guys continue forward.
I think at this point I would actually take out my weapon now that we kind of know what we're going up
Nice.
against.
Okay.
Yeah, and start readying and cleaning my pistol so I can stand in the back while they
I
get
just
closer.
realized everyone.
I want to make sure I can fire.
I just realized none of you guys are melee fighters.
Yeah, because Orion's doing the same thing. He's pulling his crossbow down. He doesn't load it the same way as a traditional crossbow. He reaches back. He kind of like undoes a little valve at the end canister that has the hose to it.
Well, I figure we all must have ranger gear,
We do.
some type of melee weapon, but it's like a basic.
Yeah, of course. You guys have gear, but your specialties are not melee.
No.
No. Well,
So
my
I pull out
specialties are
mine.
ranged either.
No.
My specialty is ranged.
Yeah,
So yeah,
mine
he pulls the crossbow string back, and as he's pulling it back, you see like this energy kind of thing form where the bolt would sit, and it just sits there, and it's like you see that same blue light come from the bolt down through the hose to the canister, and he just sits there with it ready.
Very nice. You guys are ready to rock and roll. So,
So for my cloak, I pull mine out, and at first thing you would probably say is crossbow, but if you look at it, the strings in this thing are really thick, and where the bolt would normally sit has kind of like dropped down, and it looks like there's like a holster there, and these strings are attached to this holster. This thing is pretty much, it's like a catapult in crossbow foam, and it looks like, if you look at the potion bottles on my bandolier, they fit perfectly into this holster.
Orion, like the same thing, looking over because Orion made his crossbow. He configured this whole contraption. He looks over at Natas and he's like, "Did you make that?"
I did.
It's nice. I made this one.
One of a kind.
It's...
August holds up his pistol. I have embraced technology, friends.
Smith and Wesson made yours. Just all right. So,
I follow your lead.
I'm gonna load the murky green liquid one with the vines in it. I'm gonna load that one in.
Okay. Very cool. And with that, you guys trudge off into the swamp. And in battle ready, like alertness level, you guys continue for a few more hours. And it's just as exhausting. And at a certain point, you're almost bored. The sun is starting to go down, you can tell, because the it's just getting very dark now, right? But you can still, and that's actually making it a little bit easier for you to follow this trail. So you're like, okay, I think I can get this. So let me see something real quick. Okay. Was the 0? Oh, okay. So you guys are walking and trudging along. You're following the trail. Orion is blazing this trail, and you guys are kind of, I'm assuming, like following in a loose line. Yeah. Nata, where are you in this lineup?
Probably in the back, because I was at, like, before I was looking more for like stuff to craft with, and while I may not be doing that, I probably just would have stayed in the back initially, because mine is like long range.
Okay. That's good. So like you see them, you guys have to like plow through. It's actually good that Orion's up front. He's just like plowing through and making a path for you guys, and you guys are kind of following. He basically stomps all over a bush, you know, a thick bramble patch, and just followed by August. You step over it lightly, you know, watching your step. But Nata, you may have been looking around trying to find a couple more precious specimens. Actually, considering that, why don't you roll me... roll me notice. I'll let you roll this.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Would you?
1.
1. Okay. Okay. Let me roll this real quick. 0. Okay. So you're looking around, you're stumbling, and you're literally you can feel a prick in your pants, like right around where your thigh level is, like right up against your. I'm assuming maybe you have like leather or like blue jeans type of deal going on, and you manage to stop yourself just before it can break the skin, right? So you like pull out a little bit, and you're like, "What is this?" And it's one of the thorns from the bramble patch, and you can see now clearly that you're paying more attention to it. This is a red-eye rose bramble patch. You immediately know you have lore 5, right? You immediately know that red-eye rose is a notorious flower because if ground up properly, it is used for a stimulant drug that's popular in certain cities. In its raw form here, if it pricks you, what it does to humans is drive them into a PCP-like rage.
Oh, I have the experience.
Yes. Thank God. You rolled a 1. They call it Red Eye Rose.
Pluses and a minus.
They call it Red Eye Rose because the second you're pricked, your eyes become bloodshot and all you see is red.
Keep it. Keep it.
Can I try and harvest some of that now? That after I pull it, I'm like, oh.
For harvesting, I'm going to say either survival or craft for you.
I'll go for craft.
We can mix that with the powder and have a good time.
Oh, jeez, man.
So 4, 5, 6, 7 minus 1, 6.
6 total.
I rolled really good.
You can successfully. You remembered a technique from back in your. I don't know if you went to a college or a university or if maybe some dude just taught you classes on how to do alchemy. But you remember one of the old forms of how to...
It's my homeland, people. They know how to do that.
True. Of how to essentially milk the toxin from the thorns, and it takes you, I would say, about 15 minutes you're spending, and you go through a bunch of these, and you can manage to get, I'd say 3 doses.
Now, and this is the is this the stimulant form or the toxin?
This is
it's
form? In this form it's unrefined, so it is both. If you take it, you get basically mechanically what it will do is if it gets into your bloodstream in any fashion, right? You will get a bonus to your might, and basically you won't feel any effects of your consequences. So no one can use them against you. Like a broken leg, you don't feel it, you know. You do more damage. You know, you become a wrecking machine. Problem is, when you come down, you will come down and suffer an additional. You'll suffer an additional consequence on top of what you already have, which could kill you if you've suffered too much damage during the fight. So.
All right, so
it's nice to have, but just keep that in mind.
So I have 3 doses. I'll say in the bloodstream. So I'll just make it as like a potion to drink.
Nice.
I'll hand 1 to each of you, but I say, this is good, but last resort only.
All right.
I say, look, I'm like, so will make you stronger. You can ignore your injuries, but it makes you crazy. Like I said, last resort.
He'll take it. I'm already crazy.
I kind of say like, not good, but we'll keep you alive. The last resort to keep you alive.
Many of our shamans have used this for some of their dream quests. I have never experienced that. I have read extensively on it.
This stuff would give very interesting dreams, I can imagine.
Yeah. Orion just like swirls it around, looking at the vial like, what is that? Was that Red Eye Rose?
You literally see, like, as you swirl around, you see, like, tiny pieces of thorns in it.
Orion, Orion, you would know that the street name for it is just red.
Yes, that's probably how I would say it then, like, completely.
Yeah, I'd say my version is, like, it's like a bright red liquid, maybe some little streaks of white in it, and there's these little pieces of the thorns, like, in the liquid.
Yeah, he just look at it, like, that's how he would say it. He would say, like he's completely familiar with it. Be like, it's red, isn't it? It's pretty good. It's not a bad mixture. I know a guy back in town that mixes some pretty good stuff, but this isn't bad.
I don't think my guy would know the street, like, drug. I tell him just, like, yes, it's red.
I love it.
Well, let's move on. Keep your eyes
out for me.
All right, and you guys do. You push forward, keeping an eye out for things. And this next part doesn't require much in the way of rolls. You guys are walking, and at a certain point, you actually see something very different. You see light poking, like, off in the distance. You see the trees, but you see a pale white light out, maybe 100 feet out. As you draw nearer to it, it becomes into focus, and you can see that the constant canopy is cut off because you run into a short cliff, maybe 20-30 feet tops, right, into a large, the best word for it would be like quarry-like basin. Still, you see lots of canopy down there too. It literally looks like it just got punched down a hole, maybe quarter mile in diameter. So it's rather large. But the most pressing thing you see here, down as the light of the two moons shines down upon this, is there is a massive ancient ruins in this. Just looks like the swamp. You know how a swamp has like lots of flowing water going through it, or stagnant. So this basin, like the cliff wall, kind of like is almost entirely like just lined with small little waterfalls, and it looks like you can see this ancient ruins lined with canals full of this swamp water, and at the center of this is a giant pale tree, like pale oak tree with which you can't tell the size of the leaves, but from here they look like pitch black, shiny, like reflective pitch black leaves.
Ooh. August would immediately dig into his pack and pull out one of his maps. Looking through. Okay, swamp in the swamp. And is there anything like that marked anywhere within the swamp on the maps?
It's pretty.
I mean, is there is this basin or like any of that basin or anything drawn in on the on like kind of the map that you have?
Based on what your measurements are, based on how long you've been walking, you're guessing this is the part of the Sunless Swamp that is technically uncharted. You guys, so you guys know the extent of the swamp, right? You guys know where it is on the map, and you guys know the map can give you accurate details for quite a few miles into the swamp, but at a certain point, it's just God only knows, because no one comes back.
I apologize, friends, but this is very important. I'm going to need a minute. And he starts pulling out, setting him on a piece of root, pulling out his cartography tools, his inkwells and stuff, and pulls out this little device and starts lining it up and matching and checking stars, making little notes, and starts doing a detailed map of this basin and trying to mark and scrawl things in on top of the map.
While he's doing that, actually, when he would looked up and said, friends, it's going to take a minute, you would have noticed Orion wasn't there. He's already, thrown his grappling hook onto the side of the cliff, and he's, scaling his way down. And you just hear him yell up, he's like, "You're going to learn more about it in there than from the book."
I can't get the proper measurements down there yet. The measurements must be as precise as possible. This is new. No one has seen this before and lived to tell about it. This map is coming out with us.
Well,
I'm going to see it first. That tree and says, "We can name that."
You can name it if you can get there first, and he keeps scaling his way down.
You're the only one who's focusing in over there enough to hear this. While they're discussing this, you hear what you at first think might be rolling thunder, but it's a cloudless night, and soon you realize it is a tribal drum beat off in the distance.
All right, so I kind of like put my hand up and I'm like, stop, stop. And they see me like point. Do you hear that?
Yes, you're drumming on the root or something, and he's taking measurements and meticulously
No.
etching onto this map.
Listen, listen. That's a chant.
I can hear it.
That's a chant of some type. Orion, where are you?
You as you hear this, hears you saying the oh shit, like the chant. You just see it like stop halfway down the train, just like look around, and be like, what? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! He starts like climbing himself back up.
You're gonna know, both of you, Nata and August. You would know that the chant is coming. Your best guess from this basin.
Hmm.
Do I need to do any roll or anything for the mapping?
I think we agreed it would be academics. So go ahead and roll, and that'll show, and your score will determine how accurate and quickly you can get it done.
Oh, well, the dice just even out and give me nothing, so it's just a 5.
That is superb.
Just the skill.
So it doesn't take you too long. At best, maybe 20 minutes, which technically is a long time when you're in a situation like this.
Right. Well, started before
Yeah.
we noticed the drum, so hopefully.
Yeah, but you have a very accurate scale as best you can get without measuring tools, and it's a very beautiful rendition. And done in about 20 minutes.
Because sadly, like he would still continue doing that map. I mean, if it's that situation where it's like, oh, we got to move now. Yep, one more minute.
Mhm.
One more minute. Nope, one more minute.
I suggest we hide.
Actually, Nata, you have lore 5, right?
Yeah.
You hearing it, at first you thought it was like a war drum, but with the lore, you know a couple things about the Salic. Kind of, not history-wise, but like, basic. Oh, what's the word for that?
Like legends or myths?
Like legends-wise.
Some such.
You've heard that they deal in that if they have particular chiefs, they can deal in strange magics. So they have different beats that denote either war or ritual. And this is not like a war. This isn't the steady one-note drumming of a war thing. This is literally like a building. It's growing into a crescendo. This, to you, speaks of ritual.
We must go now. I stop and you see me like listen, like this isn't the hunting party. No, some type of dark magic.
Really?
Well,
You see me listen, I'm like, this isn't a war beat. This isn't a hunting party like I thought.
well, we came in here for a
Something's
job.
going on. Some type of dark magic.
We can't leave.
Yeah, August stows all his mapping gear and goes, yes, right, we must go quickly. And he moves towards Orion's
I didn't say
grappling hook and
leave,
rope
but
and
we
starts
must
to go down.
definitely try and hide, I think, at this point.
Yes, we can hide down below. We should get closer. Imagine imagine what we could bring back. The pure for educational purposes. If we could bring this back and get this information into a library, this is a thing perhaps no one has seen. Think of the implications academically, of course.
Just
Oh.
be ready.
Hold on. And he'll reach down like before he gets too far and like grab him, probably unfortunately by the braid because that's the first thing you can grab, and start like pulling him back up and be like, hold on.
I'm coming up. Don't pull. I'm coming.
Listen, the drums are down there.
Yes.
We're up here. We have high ground. Let's just lay down on the edge of this cliff, and we just need to see what happens. We need to scope this out.
But look
I'm
how
not
far
going.
the tree is. We cannot see much from here.
I am not going running in to some dark magic crap if I don't know what's gonna happen.
Would any of you guys happen to have a telescope or spyglass, maybe?
I did not actually. I just listed expedition gear.
I could see that on there.
If something like that would be in there.
I have my eye.
He's got his eye.
Okay. I don't believe we said your
Should've
eye
made-
had
should've made
telescopic capabilities.
Damn it! I should have made it telescopic.
But I could definitely
Yeah,
see you having a telescope. Like a mapping telescope.
I can make
Yeah,
a drug that
I
enhances my eyesight.
I pull out the collapsible Oculus and take a look.
Go ahead and roll notice at +2.
Okay. Hey, that's good. So that's 2, 4. That is 7.
Wow.
Which is epic.
Yeah.
I had to look up. I had the chart open in the book. Epic.
You can hone in naturally at the ruins because you can actually see. You can't see through the canopy of a lot of the places below you, but there's a lot of open air in the ruins. You're looking around. You definitely spot quite a few Salic. Not too many wandering. You see a lot of them are drawing near the center where the tree is, and as your Oculus tracks up and onto the foot of this large pale tree, you see a gathering of Salic, one of them leading this chant, strange coloring, pale, completely pale scales. That's all you could tell from this distance. But as you look around the crowd, you see 6, 7, 8, about a dozen humans standing head and shoulders taller than most of the Salic, just standing there waiting.
I'm gonna pass the telescope over. You need to see this. We should be okay. They are all converging on the center. There's an albino up there leading the chant, and all of the people are down there. I think they're still influenced by that suggestion, that powder.
Yeah.
We need to get down there.
An albino, you're saying he'll intercept
It looks
the
like-
telescope as it's being passed.
It
Like
looks
an
like the
albino.
village people.
And,
Thinking
that's not
as I
bad.
said it.
That's not bad. That could look good. That's a good hide.
Yeah.
An albino.
Yeah, based on the size of that albino, you think you can make like a kilt out of it. So, for sure.
But yes, I also see what you're saying. They're all seem to be under the influence, and well,
Yes.
there's our.
The Salic are all moving towards the ruins. We might not see many of them on the way down. But we need to do what we can to save those people. That is why we are here.
This is why we're here. Damn you for being right. All right, and he'll just like jump down the grappling.
Okay, and you guys,
Yeah,
you
follow down the
Yep.
rope.
and this next part is pretty similar to the last parts. I'm not gonna make you guys roll to go down 20 feet or whatever. You guys are experienced people, and you guys rush for the first part. But once you start getting close to the ruins, you start seeing the stonework. I assume maybe you slow down a little bit, maybe get a little bit more stealthy, or what? How are you guys approaching this?
Yeah. As we start getting closer, I'm gonna stop and kind of sniff my clothes and go and look back at Nata. Do you have anything that could mask scent? I am afraid they are going to smell me coming. Still
What
smelling
I-
like that rotten egg smell
The methane.
soaked into my clothes.
I open up the pack. Would I have anything like that?
For that, you're not under duress yet, so I'm gonna say you could definitely make something for it. Yeah. You have a craft of 4, yeah?
Yeah, can I use that one aspect I have measuring with the question mark?
Okay.
I want to try and make it like even better to completely like mask his scent that completely.
All right. Go ahead and roll. Sure thing.
That'd be cool. I was just hoping to diminish it enough.
He's going ham.
No, I took something where I can like I just take stuff and I'm like, put a couple more in. It blows up, but it might work better.
Well, he's rolling that. Orion would like taking the chance to be like, wait. I know how to do this. I have to do this all the time. I have to learn to mask my scent all the time. He's like pulls out this little like vial.
-2. Oh, 3.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's urine.
I got 2 minuses there, yeah, and a plus.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do?
3 total.
I'm gonna since you rolled what you rolled, I want to compel that aspect. Basically, you overshot. Maybe like you got a little bit too much of this and a little too little of this, and basically when you throw it at them, it's gonna mix, and it's gonna turn into it's gonna take away the smell. But the reason it takes away the smell is because basically it mixes with the stuff that's creating the odor on your skin, and it is it's gonna suck. It's basically like having a chemical reaction, and it's making you have this phosphorescent glow. And you're like, oh, I didn't expect this.
I'm kind of like, I don't think I can reverse that.
Orion was be like,
glowing.
Yeah. So, Caleb, get a fate point for that.
Right.
And actually, I'm going to give you a fate point for this too, Joseph, because, well, you don't have to take it, but I'm going to compel this new aspect you have, and say you hear a couple of Salics. Does anyone here speak Salic?
Not unless they speak bird. I do not.
Can I say because of
actually,
my favorite enemy, while I can't speak the language, I would know like maybe certain keywords.
Yeah, sure. For sure. And you got lore 5, so you know a bunch of monster languages.
Yeah, I was going to go on a similar thing and see if with academics 5 and lore 3, if I might have some.
Yeah, I think you could both pick up the words. What's that?
You know what? That'll be fun. I'll take that. So that's I get 1 fate point.
Yep, you get an additional fate point.
That's right.
It's not kind of like looks up. Like,
Real quick, what is that? What's that aspect that I was getting the stink replaced with?
Oh, let's call it fairy fire.
Oh boy.
Okay. I think we might be around what I was thinking for time-wise. All right. So, you guys can hear at least a handful of these Salics coming towards you.
Yeah.
They haven't seen you guys yet. They seem to see a slight glow emanating from just over one of the
kind of look at it. Yeah, I kind of look at Orion. I'm like, we need to hide him now. And I point to August.
Wait. They're going to see me. I don't think I can hide this, but what else do you know? Do you know anything of Salic legends? Do they have anything that involves light? Maybe we can make this work for us, perhaps?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, as they come out, we're like going, oh.
Do it. If you guys can just come up with something, I'm going to let you riff it. Go ahead. Just...
Well, I guess do they have a...
You tell me.
Do we know if
you
they
tell
have...
me.
Because I kind of wanted to try this, I was going to say yes.
What shiny, glowy god do they possibly worship?
They revere like an aspect of the sun, or like a sun god. Because they're cold-blooded.
Could I
cold-blooded, that like gives them partial life.
They live in the swamp, right? Like that's where they predominantly live.
Yes.
And it's all dark there, right?
Oh yeah, and they barely see it. So this is like divine. This is like a divine being.
So I'd say like this is it's like an evil deity to them. that the sun, like it's like the guy who stole the sun from them and put them into darkness for ever, and so they pretty much fear it.
Okay.
With the academics, between my 5 academics and Nata's 5 lore, could we potentially know that word in Salic?
Yeah. What's the name of this evil sun god, Joe?
We'll call it Kortak.
Kortak. I love it. I love it.
All right. So now, I would like to use my wind talker, which is the ventriloquism up to 2 zones, where I can speak and it carries on the wind, and they hear it 2 zones away. And in Salic, I want to whisper out, "Kortak, Kortak."
Nice.
So I want to send it like it's coming from over where they are, like perhaps one of them is calling it out as they see and are trying to approach.
Nice.
If that's possible,
No,
I want to try that.
Sure. Oh wow. Okay. I rolled a -3 on their will here. So literally, you can hear them whispering some stuff to each other, and one of them, maybe the bravest of the bunch, pops their head up. It's a small gecko type. They don't grow much taller than 3 feet. They're very slight. They have they're called gecko types because they can climb things by just putting their hands on it, right? Pops its head up. It's definitely looking to scout and it sees you glowing, and it hears the words Kortak, Kortak, and he says it. It's and you hear a string of words Kortak, Kortak, and he runs, and you can hear the rest of the group of them running away too.
I cannot believe that worked. I thought we were going to die.
That is awesome that this
I want
worked.
to say, I want to give each and every one of you a fate point for that.
That was awesome. I looked down. I'm like, I can do the ventriloquism thing. I can talk on the wind. This might work.
Work so well together on that one. I love it. So literally write down 1 extra fate point for each of you.
Out of character, that was freaking amazing. But Orion in character is probably just sitting there like, oh,
whatever.
my God.
Oh yeah, this is gonna end horribly.
Yeah.
This is not gonna end well.
Literally.
When they see it as not this evil god, I'm actually a little worried on those repercussions. But at the moment, this is awesome.
Do you guys continue or?
Yeah,
I'll look back
I was
and be
gonna
like,
say yes, we should stealth, but I'm like, but we have a glowing man. I'm like,
that's how I mean, you guys stay here and do your little theatrical thing. I'm gonna try and get a little closer.
Okay.
That's a brilliant plan.
Not
I hate
you.
to say it, but
Not you. You stay.
I'm a grand distraction right now. I am not just a distraction. I am the bait. I hope you guys are good shots, just in case we need it.
He's like, the bait. The bait could work.
Okay.
All right. I say we get closer. Each of us will hide behind something on the either side of this little entryway, this aisle. You and me, Netta. Load in something cool to that little catapult crossbow thing you got. And August, you just kind of stand in the middle and flail your arms around and get them to run this way.
Okay.
They're running away. I don't know how to make them to come towards me. Perhaps we should move
You're
closer?
a freaking deity. You command them to come back.
All right. I'm gonna.
they scare easily, but always return in bigger numbers.
All right, so I'm gonna narrate a little bit of what happens here if you guys follow through with this plan. You guys push forward and you find August that whenever you approach, inevitably the word has spread and these guys are literally they look at you and they run into the ruins to hide, or they run towards the tree. But inevitably, they all flee. And you guys basically find the streets parting to you, parting like the Red Sea. So good job eliminating my encounter here.
Me and Orion should probably try and hide.
Yeah, we're just.
Oh yeah,
you
hiding.
guys said you were hiding.
Yeah, I assumed you guys were. Yeah, I assumed you guys were like stealthily coming along the sides. I don't think they're going to be looking very hard.
You guys could have taken pot shots, but honestly, it was unnecessary because none of them tried to attack.
Oh no, my pot shot's going for the albino man. That's my goal.
And as you draw closer and closer to,
Happy this worked.
I love it. Here's the basic. By the way, for you guys and all the viewers, I don't know if this is a standard rule for Fate in general, but for me, if it's a cool enough idea, it's just gonna happen. So
the rule of cool.
And that was fantastic. As you guys draw nearer to the center of these ruins, the tree stands huge before you. You haven't made. It seems to be inside like a center courtyard type thing, so there's only one more threshold to cross to get to it. You can hear the chanting going on, but you hear also murmurings and the words. Was it Kartak? What was it? Kortak. And you hear the word Kortak being whispered around. So your name's getting put out there. But the tree, maybe it stands 100 feet high, is looming over you. Honestly, it's a pretty creepy tree. It's literally pale white bark. You don't even know if it's bark, but like it looks like a sickly white tree with pitch black leaves. And so basically, it's in a courtyard type situation. So I'm thinking like the architecture here is kind of Aztec-y, right? So you can get into the courtyard easily. You would just have to crush the threshold, right? It's pretty open air. There's no doors. You could just walk into it. But did you guys want to go straight in? Are you looking for sniper positions? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm trying to take a high ground somewhere. So maybe there's like a ragged staircase that kind of like fell apart, but still leads to some platform.
And for that, I can honestly say,
like...
if you guys are looking for sniper's nest, you could just tell me what it looks like, and you could have clear line of sight into the courtyard.
Yeah, I'm more like precise artillery kind of, so, or accurate artillery, I guess is more. I'd probably go for more like a tower, or like a partial tower, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
Something that's got like I can duck down, take something, and pop back up.
Okay. And that's
probably on the same here. I'm like thinking like the sniper's nest from that scene in Saving Private Ryan, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Like sitting.
Can I craft a couple more explosive ones?
Which type?
The explosive ones.
Yeah. You wanted to have a couple on deck, real quick.
I'll get as many as I can automatically. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Roll me craft, and I'll tell you how many you can make at the power level you're used to.
Wow. 7.
7?
These 4 fake dice are awesome.
With that, you can make an additional 4. It's like your go-to recipe, you know?
Yeah, it's one of my standards.
Nice. So you don't have to make. You like literally, you're up there. You found a position. You're looking out there, and you're just mixing some stuff, and you're capping bottles. August, Cloudhawk, what are you doing?
Yeah. I'm going to, seeing where they kind of went off to, with the Wind Talker, I'm going to whisper off to each of them, and you guys hear it clearly as if I'm standing right beside you. I'm going through. I will be out in the open. And trusting that their aim is true, I'm going to boldly stroll right through the archway.
Okay.
And raise the arms up if any of them come out.
Nice.
All right, so I take the big spirit thorn. I don't have it aimed at him just in case I more like I have it aimed like 10 feet in front of him.
As you cross the threshold, you count. It's got to be at least 100 of these Salix, right? And they're all types. The little geckos, the 5 foot, the like 4.5 foot to 5 foot tall iguanas, with their turtle shell shields and their stone axes. Even the 8 foot tall komodos are out here with their pitch black scales and just muscles, biceps bigger than your chest, like. And they're all standing there, and when they see you, the glowing embodiment of all that is evil, they part. They part before you, all except for one. The albino stands at the foot of this tree, finishing his ritual song, looks at you, and speaks in Kilmarian, which is the common tongue, Kilmarian, pretty well. You are no god. You are but a man. I will show you a god. And for the first time, you notice the humans don't seem to have very many. Like, they don't have, like, there's some Salix standing next to them to, like, make sure they don't do anything. But it's not like they have knives to their throats or anything like that. But this albino Salic has a spear, and behind him, you guys couldn't see from the distance, but at the roots of this tree, there is a haggard, beaten, basically looks like a what was once a beautiful woman, but made entirely out of oak. You would immediately recognize this as a dryad, and by the aged look, you think maybe a matron dryad at that. And he stabs it with this pitch black spear, and its green sap blood pours out of it into the roots, and the roots suck it up. And you start to see the pale trees start to glow with green veins crawling up it. He's like, yes, you shall see a god. Undalak shall rise. That tree is still glowing with green veins, and you can see, you guys off in the distance, you can really see it. The branches of it start to move. Right, the leaves on it start to join together and unfurl in unison, forming a scaly hide in the shape of wings and a giant lizard body attached to them. And not long, the pale tree trunk erupts into a large lizard-like rib cage and then legs, and in the course of a few seconds, that pale tree turns into a 30-foot tall black dragon, a creature that hasn't been seen in these lands in over a millennia. So, who wants to roll for initiative?
Damn it. Let's do it.
Oh shit. All right.
You wanted to...
I have +2 initiative from being light as air.
Yeah. That's right.
What is the initiative roll? Is that
so
based on athletics?
Based on fate, there's a couple ways to do it, and I should have asked you before, but I'll ask you now. There's the Dresden Files way of doing it, where we just take your notice plus whatever modifiers you would have, like your wind thing, and that's your initiative. You don't roll anything; you just take the base number. Or we can go with whoever has the highest. Like you guys roll, whoever has the highest goes first, and then you choose who goes next, and we keep doing that. whoever goes at the end of the turn chooses who goes next. That's like the Fate core way of doing it. Or we could roll like D&D and just add notice.
I kind of like the choosing one. That sounds fun.
All right. And just so you know, tactically, it's not always the best to just choose like the three of you go first, because then all of my guys go at one time. So, just a heads up.
Yeah.
So I think that puts August as first up, because I think that makes your initiative a 5, right?
Yeah. If it's based off notice.
Notice plus
it
2.
puts me to a 5.
And none of my guys have an initiative higher than 5. So. You win.
Oh,
you were surrounded by
shit.
roughly 100 Salic, an albino cult leader, and a 30-foot black dragon.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Or, shoot. Darn.
It's okay to curse on my channel.
Sorry. Alright. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if he's ballsy enough to attempt what I was thinking.
By the way, almost immediately all the Salic bow down and they're chanting Undalak, Undalak, Undalak.
Man. Can I hold or delay my action? Because I'm really unsure of what he would do. I think he might kind of just almost be in shock at the moment, trying to collect himself. Because there's a dragon right there.
I'm just gonna make up a rule for this. If you hold or delay your action, you could take your full action at any time after a person's turn, or if you spend a fate point, you could interject into someone's turn. Okay, if you want to do something stupid and heroic. So who goes next?
I actually think I will let the lizards, or whatever next group of lizards. I think we'll let them go first as I'm standing
So the Salic
there.
as a whole. Because I'm going to say the bad guys are 3 parts: the Salic, the priest, and the dragon. Okay.
Yeah. So the Salic. Do the Salic first.
Okay. I mean, it's a boring term, but yeah, the Salic are going to continue bowing down. They have 2 gods before them in their eyes. And honestly, you know what they do? They back up. They get to the edges of the courtyard and kind of make like a circle, and they're just watching. They're just hoping not to get caught in the crossfire. Yeah. And the humans don't move, by the way. They're if you're looking at it, you are where you're at, maybe like 20 feet in front of the threshold. The humans, the other people are about 20 feet in front of you. The albino is maybe 10 to 15 feet in front of them, and directly behind him is Undalak. Yeah? So, kind of like a straight shot. So the Salic are going to choose...
Actually, can I jump in now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, I'm seeing them separate and seeing the humans. I want to wind talk and whisper right in front of them, like whisper to them in their in our native language, and tell them, "Go home now."
Ooh, nice. Okay. No, there's no roll, man. They're susceptible to any orders right now, and any orders given to them, like in the immediate vicinity, and that's what your ventriloquism does. So.
Yeah, and I'm remembering that that I'd been told Nata had said it was made them very highly suggestible. So yeah, that's
good
what
call.
I'm doing.
Good call. And immediately and without any fanfare, they kind of like, huh? And they all just start to like walk towards one of the thresholds.
And I think Orion is going to go after me now.
Okay.
And I'm still just standing there trying not to shiver.
So Orion, seeing this from his little like 2-story sniper nest thing, sees the dragon pop up, kind of looks at he's got his new trophy, He really needs a claw from that dragon, and to save the people too. He's gonna try and take a shot at the dragon eye mostly. He'd probably aim for the eye.
Okay.
Knowing that if you can blind it, they might have a
Sure
chance.
thing. So you're shooting it with the gooey gun.
The gooey gun. So yeah, he'll pull back that string. That blue electrical energy will just kind of show back up, and he'll just take aim with it.
Okay. So what's your attack roll? Roll ranged. Let me get his character sheet real quick. All right. I'll use notice for this. So I got a defensive 4. What were your rolls, Jordan?
Got 2.
A 2 total? Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so literally you take your shot with the gooey gun, the blue electric bolt shoots through the air, and it would have hit him right in the eye, but the dragon's head literally ducks down and then pops back up, and his head turns and just looks straight at you. You might be 100 feet away, maybe more, but he's looking you in the eyes.
All right, I'm gonna let him go next.
Ooh, interesting call. Okay, Undalak looks at you, then looks back down at the scene before him. You dare call yourself a god in my temple? And you bring friends as well. You've scattered my meal, child. I think I'll go catch another. And he flaps his wings, takes flight, and I'm gonna say go straight for Orion. For sure.
Yeah, that's the point when Orion would just like stand up and start screaming. Like not even stealth is gone. Just be like, Neta, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, he's going to fly directly at you, and he's going to try to grapple you, which is going to be difficult for you to stop, but you can try. How would you like to avoid to be grappled?
I remember saying there was stairs that I got up to this platform with. I think I'm just gonna like take a side dive and try and roll down the stairs.
Nice. I got a 5 to try to grab you.
Now, can I spend a fate point to like interject, or is that because he held his action?
That was a made-up rule I made on the spot, and since I've said it, you can do it. Go ahead and use that fate point, and I'll let you interject.
Yeah, because my idea was, as he's coming in the grapple, like as soon as it's like the arms come out of the bed, grapple him, I want to let loose on one of my
Nice. Yeah, go ahead, man. What you got?
All right. Now, does this thing count as a Salic?
No, he is not a Salic. So, unfortunately...
All right, so I don't get my favorite enemy. Okay.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Dragons haven't, like, literally, I wasn't joking, dragons haven't been on this continent in, like, 1,000 years. So, like...
5.
5?
5 total,
That was perfect. On the nose. To disrupt his attack. What potion were you using?
This is one of my explosives.
Oh, so that's
as the yeah. Well, as everyone started like talking, I definitely because I popped up earlier and had my bow out, and I originally had it aimed near where August is. But as soon as this thing started coming alive and started flying on Orion, I just shifted aim and tried to hit it out of the air before, especially as I see its claws coming out.
For sure. And you hit it, and this huge eruption of like blue-green fire comes out. Maybe like you hit him in the head, and it's boom, and that moved him to the side. And that's 5 shifts of damage you would do. because it's a power level
yeah.
5 weapon, right? But he has armor, so he only takes 3 shifts of damage. So, and he is now aware.
Orion, it's now your chance.
Orion took his turn already. But yeah.
That's what Nata would have said anyway. Yeah.
So that was your turn. The dragon's turn. He was deflected. He's making like a big loop pass. So who's next? Nata.
I think the priest is it.
Yeah, the priest would be it. So, what is the priest doing? Okay, you know what? He's laughing. He's like, yes, Undla, Death Incarnate, take your prey as you see fit. I shall destroy the heretic god before me. So he, where is this character sheet? So okay. So he is roughly, I think I said 30-ish feet in front of you, right? So you guys have like a whole zone between you. And he's like I said, an albino Salic. He's got like furs on him, just and pouches all over him. And he starts reaching into the pouch. He starts taking a couple steps towards you, and he pulls out a small bag, like a small leather pouch, and he grabs the drawstrings and he spins it, and he chucks it at you. I
got it.
You know, so he's chucking a bag at you. How would you like to defend yourself against this?
Try and dip out of the way.
All right, athletics.
Okay, athletics.
+1 because of your ability.
Yeah. Yep. Because the light is there.
I got a. Where are you at? 4.
Oh shit. Yeah, he definitely beat me. I am. See, that gives me athletics too. I am looking at a -1.
-1 total.
Total, yeah. My athletics is 2 with the bonus, and I rolled 3 minuses.
Nice. Okay.
I think he's, August or Cloudhawk. He is still kind of stunned at the dragon that just flew overhead.
Wow. -1.
So that's where his failure is hitting there. That sucks.
Yeah, that's okay. So -1. The bag hits you. Right, and he erupts.
Use a fate point to reroll.
What's that? I mean, yeah, you could if you can.
Oh, I can use them.
Yeah, like I said, but you have to. Like I said, it's like a vending machine. You have to find an aspect that would correlate to a reroll in this situation.
Oh yeah, I'm getting hit by it.
All right, so it hits you, and this powder erupts from it. This reddish, like rust red color powder. Erupts, hits you, lands on you, mixes with this glowing phosphorescence on your chemical on your skin, and that glowing changes from a neat phosphorescence to, oh god, it burns. Oh god, it starts to become a chemical burn. And unfortunately, since you rolled -1, I had a 4. That's a difference of 5. And this was a power level 3. So that is 8 shifts of damage, brother.
Woo!
That's a big one.
That's a major one.
This is a good way to explain how consequences work. So he doesn't have 8 stress. There's no way.
I do not.
So if you go past your stress, you get taken out, or if you don't want to get taken out, you can use your consequences to eat up those stress to reduce it. So how would you like to reduce it?
All right. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So I only have 3 physical stress, so that means I would have to take up to 5 in consequences.
Yeah. So.
Or how does
you'd
that
have
work
to take
exactly?
up to 5, which means you would have to use probably a severe, because that subtracts 6. A moderate subtracts 4, and a mild subtracts 2. So severe would be your best bet here. So,
all right, yeah, definitely do that.
Let's
so
call it
a severe consequence.
Yeah. Since I created it with my attack, I get to name it. That's how. If you do a consequence on someone, you get to name it.
Okay.
So,
cool.
It's gonna be. Let's call it what it is. Severe chemical burns. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's gonna hurt, brother.
Oh, definitely. That's probably gonna be some serious permanent scarring, like forever kind of scarring.
That's rough. And he just cackles like just this evil like reptilian cackle, and
that's still 2 physical stress.
Yes,
well,
2
right?
physical stress.
To make that total 8.
Just mark off
Cool.
the second bubble. Don't do 2 bubbles. Okay. So yeah, he cackles and passes the turn. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Orion, just because I think that's fun.
All right, so he's still flying around.
Yeah, he's making like this big loop, and you think he's coming back towards one of you two.
How far away is he? From me, if I'm up on that platform.
He's within crossbow range for sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna load up another bolt, but I'm gonna take that grappling hook that I have on my side, and I'm gonna start swinging it, and I'm gonna throw it and try and get it to like hook under scales behind his head, like his neck.
Okay. All right. That's gonna be ranged, I guess. Yeah. Let's go with ranged.
All right.
Oh, lucky. I got a 2 to dodge. What did you get, man?
So 3s are blank, right?
3s are blank, yeah.
So I got 2 2s and 2 3s. So
negative
3.
3 total, and I got a 2. So you hook him, just barely. It like you think it's gonna bounce off, but then it hits one of the it hits like one of the spines on the back of his neck, going down, and he's flying past you, and you're like, yeah, I hooked him, and then you see that chain just like getting shorter and shorter, and you're like, oh wait, whoop. And you, and all of a sudden you're flying through the air, holding on to your crossbow, and hoping to God he doesn't slam you into something.
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna start climbing up it.
Yeah,
if I can still
for
do
sure,
that.
for sure.
Passing it on. I'll pass it on to Neta.
Okay.
All right, so I just saw Orion loose a hook and a dragon's flying away with him. And then August is on the ground, I guess burning right now, pretty much. And I have the brother in arms aspect I have to... All right. All right, I think I know what I'm doing.
What you gonna do?
I may burn another fate point, but I think what I know I'm doing. All right, my first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load up the green murky one with the vines potion, and I want to aim it at the priest.
Okay.
And I want to shoot him with the restraint one.
All right, go ahead.
And that gets my enemy bonus.
Yes,
so
it does. And he doesn't know you're there, so he has to defend with notice, which is not great. I got a 1 for defense.
So I'm getting a +5 to it. Oh my god, and I rolled 4 minuses. So I'm at 1.
You are the luckiest son of a bitch. That is
Seriously.
precisely what you need to hit him.
Wow.
Right?
4 minuses.
So he literally, the albino sees it at the last second. He sees that like bag, and he goes to dodge, but it hits him as he's dodging in the arm. And what's it look like as he gets encased in whatever?
Well, I'd probably aim it like right at his feet. And what happens is these little vines you saw in the bottle, as it shatters, these vines just start growing and like just circling around him.
Nice.
Eventually and then it doesn't do damage, but I would say like it just kind of tightens, so it makes it like a cocoon.
Nice. Okay.
So it's a power 5 restraint.
Okay.
And then, can I use my trophy hunter aspect to now use a fate point to reload an explosive and try and hit the dragon now?
Normally, I'm not super cool with... Oh, shit, I forgot. Fuck. Okay. Sorry, I just remembered something. I'm just gonna... I'm gonna let that happen. Like, don't get used to it if we go on with this later on. But I love spending fate points for extra actions. So go ahead. Just you and your perch is like quick loading your gun.
It's a trophy hunter, yeah. All right.
So make sure you spend that fate point, man.
Yeah. Oh, I still have 3 left after that. So this does not use my favorite.
That's right, because I gave you 2, didn't I?
Not good. 2 total.
2 total?
Yeah, I didn't roll good.
Ooh. This is... No. So you shot... So off in the distance, somewhere, a tree gets set on fire. Boom! As literally...
Which one Orion to look as it goes by and be like, oh, come on.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He's making this big turn. You're getting this whip around, and you see that bottle just miss by like a mile.
It's horrible.
Who's
rolling.
next?
I'm gonna give it to the priest.
Okay, yeah, it's the priest's turn. The priest does not... I don't think he's ever getting out of this thing. It's like a strength 5. Yeah, okay. So he's wiggling around. He's trying to get out of there. And he's kind of screaming, kill the false god! And then he switches to Salic and says it in that, you assume. He's going to pass it over to the Salic. Oh, let me roll something real quick. Okay. So the Salics start to move forward, but then one of them's like, it's like, no, he summoned vines from the sky to entrap our leader. He could do the same to any of us. And so now they're kind of like, I don't know what to do.
Yes.
Their god is in the sky, like, and then the sky here is just summoning things from the sky. So
why not?
They are going to... They're just going to spectate. Yeah. I think the Salic are going to be out for this fight because they've encountered quite the moral quandary. So they're going to choose... I believe it's Dragon's turn. It's the only one left. So...
I think also me at some point. Or am I writhing from the burning?
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I mean, no, you get to do something. But... yeah. I already chose the dragon. But yeah, thank you for reminding me. The dragon will have to choose you. So...
You don't have to go.
So, Undalak is flying. He feels that you're on him. So... He is going to... Yeah. He makes this big wide turn. I will grab 2 birds with 1 stone then. And he's taking a dive bomb straight at you, Nata. And when he gets to a certain distance, he pulls up super fast, and you happen to see Orion coming at you like a freaking hammer. Just
Survival on parlay.
so yeah.
Yeah, it's just Orion swinging. It's just.
You didn't plan on that. So roll something. Something to get out of the way. Do you want to just curl up in a ball?
Athletics?
Athletics would be to jump out of the way, yes.
Yes.
Gosh, why am I rolling crap for him?
Here we go.
I got a 4.
4. That's what I got, 4.
Okay, so I'm going to say that... How much would you say you weigh, Orion?
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
way.
A lot.
Probably a good 400, 450
Nice.
pounds.
I'm going to call that weapon 4. So you dodge, like you manage to just on your little sniper perch get out of the way so you don't get bashed out into the open air. But just him clipping your shoulder deals 4 physical stress to you. So it's literally...
Can I do 2 physical stress and 2 consequence?
Yeah, you want to take a mild?
Yeah, I'll take a
Sure
mild.
thing.
Sorry.
Yeah, take the mild. Let's we'll call the mild bruised. As he clips you, and it feels like you got hit with a cinder block. Yeah, and just so you know, you just marked.
Probably dropped my weapon.
Nice. All right, and it is now currently your turn, August. You are in great pain.
Oh yeah. So there was a like pool of or water, like a fountain up there, right where he was cutting the dryad.
Yes, there's kind of like it was like a pool of swamp water that was feeding the tree, but yeah, now it's just a pool of water.
Yeah, that'll do. But my action is going to dive in that to try and ease the burning.
Sure.
Because I imagine he's probably smoking still, or something from the burning.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's actually he's out of his element in the combat, but I think that would be the thing he would do. Sadly.
All right, so you do that, right?
Yep.
And before you get you choose who's next, you go in there. You're like trying to get the chemical burn to stop, and it's starting to soothe, but your vision's getting hazy, and like you've never felt so much pain before. You feel a wooden hand on your shoulder. The dryad looks up at you.
Still alive.
Life is draining from her quickly, but yes, she looks at you as like, my time is done, but you can't let Undalak roam the earth. And like she goes limp for like a half second. You need to stop him. And she kind of like takes her other hand and scoops up some of her green sap blood and like holds up her cupped hand. So, drink it. It will help.
Yeah. Completely. You know, the scholar in him is blown away that he's actually talking to a live dryad. He will try and drink it. You know, assuming that it's some connection, being a Lutra or a Lautra himself, that maybe there's some connection to the spirit. So he drinks that.
Okay.
He accepts the gift from the dryad.
Nice. All right.
That's wild.
All right. So it'll immediately wipe out the stress that you have taken, and
Okay.
It's going to give you a bit of a supercharge. So,
okay.
If you were willing,
Cool, because I was about to take the red.
if you were willing to pay a fate point, right? Just because I gotta have some kind of charge, and I think you have some.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't spent any. I'm sitting on 5 right now.
It's going to supercharge all your Lotra wind abilities. So basically, it'll give you wind magic for the duration of this scene. What other consequences might come from this, we'll find out later. Because not gonna lie, that stinks of corruption. And we'll go over that later. So the dryad, you drink it.
Okay.
You can feel it coursing through your veins and empowering you. You can almost feel the pain go away. It becomes a dull ache at the back of your mind, and the dryad's hand goes limp as the last of her life slips away. And so, who goes next?
We'll let the.
Actually, you're the last one. You could call
it.
yourself to go next.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Yeah. I'll do that. I'll go next. So yeah, as he drinks that, his clothes kind of begin flapping for, there's no breeze there, but it appears as he's standing in a breeze all of a sudden as he stands up, and light as air. I think he's just going to kind of float all of a sudden, just kind of lift up off of the ground charged by this dryad energy, and look around at the Salic that are standing there, and in Salic say, destroy the false god Undak, as he's lifting and raising up into the air from the light as air thing.
Nice. Okay. I think we lost Jordan, but all right. It's gonna look weird on my screen for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were trying to convince them to attack their god. Let's roll presence +2 because of your circumstances.
Okay. Ooh, that only puts me on a 3 total.
Okay, Jordan sent a message, said the storm knocked out power. He said, hold on.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So they got a 2. Actually,
Ooh, yeah,
it's a 3 actually. But still, I would consider that successful enough. Wait, did you want to add something to it, or?
Oh no, that was all I had.
All right, so they're going to talk amongst themselves, and some of them start to move towards the albino Salic.
And actually, could I pump that up more? Can I spend another fate point just to apply Wind Talker to that as well, so that as he says it, the ventriloquism makes it sound like it's coming from all around, like at each of them, like the ventriloquism is saying that at each of them in their ears.
I like that.
Could I spend a fate point just to add that to the speech?
Yeah. If that's the case, you know what I'm gonna do? Some of them start to go towards the albino. They look aggressive, like they're gonna kill him. Well, this is a different god. But then others stop them, and they start to argue amongst themselves. And not too long after a few seconds of this, they start to tear each other apart. They're literally, the outer edge of this is just this ring of Salic just attacking each other viciously. As the albino is screaming, "No, no, control yourselves!" Yeah. That was a good move, man.
All right, and I think the thing. Oh, it was track record. He says he fears the worst. Sorry. So I think we'll let.
He says continue on without me. He doesn't know how long.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I'll pass it to Nata at that point.
Nata, you're up.
All right. Can I take? Well, I guess the first thing is I kind of go like I do that and start rubbing my shoulder after getting clipped by a half metal man. All right, and then I pick up Spirit Thorn. I load an explosive. Can I take my whole turn pretty much to aim? So my next shot is almost like a guaranteed hit, or however aiming works.
Oh, okay. if that's what you want to do, you want to try to set up an aspect for yourself. Basically, you'd be creating an advantage for yourself. So your next shot is at a bonus. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty much spending this time just like aiming, and I'm aiming for like his neck area.
Okay. Roll lore, and that's like you aiming for a vital spot.
6.
6. Okay. So normally to create a an aspect, it's a plus. It's like difficulty 3. You doubled that, so you succeeded big time. So that's gonna give. That's gonna put 2 aspects on it. Basically like weak spot and on target. Okay.
All right. So I pretty much just spend, as like he's flying, I just kind of like, follow him with the crossbow.
Nice. Okay.
Or catapult, whatever you call it. A catabow.
Oh, my bad. My mic was on. I think I was just crunching in your guys' ears.
No, I didn't hear it.
Sorry about that.
I didn't hear it, no.
Let me see something real quick. Oh.
Uh-oh. Alright.
Ooh, sorry about the technical difficulties, guys.
Yeah, my Discord just rebooted, so that was weird.
Okay.
All right. I'd say normally I think I would have passed on to Orion, but what do we do now that he's?
Basically, he's hanging on tight. So let's go ahead and let's skip him and whenever he comes back, we'll just say it's his turn. Yeah. If we get to the point where it'll come to like the next round, I'll just say he does something. Sound good?
Okay. So then, I guess who's left? Let the dragon go.
Okay. All right. Dragon's turn. All right. Sorry, I was just moving stuff around on this thing. Since he left, the screen's all wonky. So the dragon flung Orion at you like a cannonball. But the dragon is noticing the craziness that's happening over there in the center, and he lands back where he was originally, and looks down at you. How dare you command my people like this? They are mine to control. And you just hear this, and just belches out this huge blob of green, acrid. It's acid. It's just a big blob of acid. It's falling on you. So.
I definitely want to try and get the hell out of the way from that.
Thing.
Oh, yeah. That's right. It's athletics to move out of the way.
It is athletics to move out of the way. Go ahead and roll athletics at a +2.
Okay, at a +2. All right. That gives me a total of 4.
Oh, okay. You are incredibly lucky. I rolled low. I got a 3. So with your enhanced wind speed, like I don't know, maybe like you buffet yourself out of the way, and this just
right the breeze is blowing clean.
Yeah, exactly. It would have hit you, but like that wind, that like circular wind you got going, like, and it lands in front of you, and you can see it immediately eating through the stone. It is very acidic, and he just it puts his face real low towards yours. And just, I can't growl right now. My throat hurts. But just like sneers at you, is like showing all of his teeth and how easily he could swallow you in one bite. He is going to choose. Who just went? Nata went. I went. Let's go with the albino. Oh, my kid's crying over there. Oh well. The albino is gonna go. He is going to. Nice. Okay. He was like digging through his stuff. He's moved an arm a little bit, and opened up one of the little pouches, and he's like throwing out this flicks of this oil, and it's every time the oil strikes one of the plants, it withers and dies, and the vines holding him eventually all completely die out, and he is free. He's used his whole turn, but he is free again. Alright. And he is going to choose... I think the only person left is Orion, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Did the Salix go?
They're tearing each other apart.
Oh, that's...
Mm-hmm.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, they're basically taken out for now, unless something else happens. But so Orion is gonna try to climb that chain. Well, yeah, he's gonna try to climb the chain. Okay. Oh wow. And he's taking shots at the dragon. So literally, he's like. Climbs on, he's holding onto the chain, and from its back he's just shooting. He can't miss. He's just shooting into the spine of the dragon with that. Okay. You guys don't know what that gun does, but like, yeah. But you can see him like that blue energy releasing on its back. Like, and Orion is going to choose. You had something lined up, so Nata, go.
Yep. When I was just aiming, and as soon as he land, as soon as like the dragon lands, I would have just like let loose of it. I think let's go.
Okay.
And I want to use those new aspects. Weak spot on target.
Yes. All right. So you can tag them both for free, since you're the first person. And it'll give you +2 each, so 4 total. Yeah, it's gonna be a big one.
All right. Okay. 8, 9, -2, 7.
7 total.
Yep.
Okay. I got a 6. He tried to knock it out of the air with his tail, but he misses.
Yeah, good shot on his like neck, right, like his Adam's apple
Is
area.
it a fire one? All right.
Yes.
So he misses the shot that batted away, and it hits him right there in the neck, like you said. So that's 1 + 5 makes 6 physical stress. Minus his armor, so he takes 4 physical stress. So yeah.
I don't have many more of those.
No, you're gonna have to start creating some. Yeah, it's on the dragon. Oh, poor Jordan. All right, who goes next?
Let's go. So was I first in that
Yes,
turn?
you were first on that turn.
Let's go to August.
All right. So, are talking and doing an action? Are those? Do each one count as a full action?
Talking's free.
Yeah. Okay. Positive. Well, I'll tell you what I want to do, and we'll see if that like still works. So, with this augmented wind power from the Dryad, I want to use the bird caller to speak as far and like loud as I can, and I want to whistle. A great evil needs to be stopped, and I need your help, friends. And I would like to compel with a little help from my friends. Like, is that how that works?
Yeah, no, you could totally do that.
I have the aspect.
You pay the fate point,
Okay,
yeah,
so
and that'll compel it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna spend the fate point with a little help from my friends, and just as loud as I can, like whistle onto the winds or call out to the birds that a great evil needs to be stopped and I need your help. And then I'm going to pull out my pistol and take a shot at the dragon as a whistling.
Sure thing. I like that a lot.
Like if that works.
The birds won't arrive until the next turn, but yeah, like you do that whistle and you take a shot. You're shooting the dragon, you said? All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop a shot at the dragon. It probably won't do much. It's
With the sleep bullets?
Oh, I never dipped him in the stuff. I'll have to remember that for next time. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to run pretty soon. Oh, this might not do anything. That's 2. My range is 2, so that's 4. And sure shot gives me a +1 to range. 5 total for the shot.
That 5 total. I literally rolled 2 + 3 makes 5. So pistol, musket, regular musket pistol is weapon damage 2. So,
yeah.
Oh well, he has armor too. So.
Yeah, like I heard earlier, like the 2 just kind of blinked for something else. I was like, oh, probably not gonna do much.
You shoot the bullet at him and it bounces off one of his dark scales.
Yep.
But the birds are coming. And who's next?
Worth a shot. I'll let the priest go next. We'll go to the priest.
Okay. The priest is torn between wanting to save his people and kill you for doing this to his people. So, look, my people, he is no god, he is but a man, he can blade. And he's gonna do away with the potion. He's gonna be like, look, and he's gonna charge you and try to basically rip your throat out with his jaws. Like, oh, not great.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and dodge.
Where you at? No.
Oh wow. Also not great.
Yeah, I think I got a 2.
I got a 0.
You got a 0?
I got a flat 0. Yeah, like the negatives cancel out my bonus.
Nice. Okay, well then I got a 2 plus weapon damage 2, so 4 physical stress.
I'm gonna have to take a mild consequence.
Let's call it torn up, as he bites into your collarbone, and like his claws are like raking at your back. You're getting fucked up in this fight, man.
Oh yeah.
All right. So that means he gets to choose who's next. Both of you went already. He is going to choose Undalak, the deaf incarnate. Undalak he's got all these things. Yeah. He's just like, he's getting pretty petty about this shit. He just got hit with the fireball. You know what? Okay. Yeah. He's not even caring about you right now. You just hit him with a big old fireball in the throat. He rears his head up and looks at you, does that snort again, and just does a line of green spittle directly at you. It looks like a freaking fire hose.
Alright. I'm gonna just try and I got like wide eyes and just like duck.
Jesus. Okay. I got a 7. Yeah, I rolled well.
I can hit that, but will I? Oh, 1.
Oh, 1? Okay. So.
Actually, wait, no. That's 0.
Oh, okay.
0.
All right. So you take 7 plus The acid damage is 4.
Ooh.
So you're taking 11 physical stress as you went to dodge, but one of the stones from under your feet gave in, and instead of going down the stairs, or whatever it is you use to get up, you just drop straight down, and it just hits you full in the torso. Right? Maybe you have enough time to put your arms up to protect your face. 11 physical stress, man. How are you gonna eat that up?
Well, I can take. I'm gonna go 3. Oh no, I've already taken 2, so I can't do that.
You took a mild, right?
No, I'm on the physical stress. I already took 2.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have any consequences?
I do have 1 mild right now.
You could take a severe, that's 6, and a moderate, that would be 10. So you'd only take 1 physical stress. But that's 2.
I'm gonna have to just to survive.
So we're gonna say the moderate is Jesus. I don't even know what the moderate would be.
Collapse.
No, we'll call moderate fractured ankle from the stone turning, right? So that'll heal. It sucks, but it'll heal. The severe is a problem. We're gonna call that acid burns.
Oh.
Because a significant portion of your body, you're looking a little bit like what was his name? Dice from Absolute Tabletop's game. From the Provokers. There you go.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. my time, so so yeah, you are cooked, brother. You're just literally sitting in a pool of acid that's eating away at the stone beneath you.
And I can barely. I'm trying to hobble.
You probably barely moved your crossbow out of the way, protected your fanny pack.
That stayed safe. Yes.
I like the idea of you're hobbling away. Maybe you roll down the staircase a little bit.
Would my oof. I know I'm gonna be damning myself, but would my crossbow survive that?
I'm gonna say it probably took some damage, but yeah, we'll say it survives that. They could. I mean, that could be a thing that happens later if you have to take any more damage.
I can still throw.
Fuck you, dragon.
All
right. So.
No, I probably try to say that, and it's more like. That's probably more what it is.
All right, and the only person left to go would be Orion. Orion is still on the thing's back.
Well, of course he is.
Oh, shit. He did really well. Oh, look at that. He actually did something to the dragon. So, you're the only person who sees this, August. Orion's on the back just pulling the trigger on this thing. Blue energy bolts going into its back. And at first you're like, it's not doing anything. But after a minute, one of them seems to really get through, and you see these blue veins going through his between his scales, and it's but it seems it did something, but he's not done or anything. Jesus Christ. So Orion is now going to choose. He is going to choose. Why don't you go, August? So,
right,
August, on your turn, the forest itself seems to be coming to life as all the trees are moving in unison. And an enormous flock of birds just blotting the moons out is at your disposal.
I'm gonna whistle out, go for its eyes.
No, okay. All right, let's.
And then I'm going to run for cover.
You still got the Salic on you, remember?
Oh, that's right. He's still right there. Yeah.
Oh shit! The
That's
dragon.
right.
The dragon did terrible.
Yes.
He got a 3 for his defense, and the birds had a 5 for their attack.
Oh shit.
So that's 2. What is a tornado of birds damage equal out to? What's your academics?
My academics is a 5. That's my
we're
biggest
playing
one.
Calvin ball a little bit here, so I'm just gonna go with a +5 is what a tornado of birds equals out to.
Shit.
3. Yeah, +5 is 8, so 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh shit. Okay, starting to stack up on him a little bit. The birds are just all in front of his face and just like.
Awesome.
Who's next?
With the guy around
Oh.
me?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the speech counts separate, or
Oh.
or is that as an action?
Well, yeah,
to
you're
have
controlling
them
the
do that?
birds, so like we're gonna call that your action right
All
there.
right.
You can.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Then I think next, although I might regret it, I'll go ahead and give it to the priest again here.
Stop everything you're doing. You cannot hurt our god.
I cannot, but the birds can. The forest wills it so.
Oh man, I got a 3 for an attack roll against you.
That's right. And yeah, I got a 1. I got to take 2.
All
for
right,
that.
that's another 4 physical stress, man.
Yep. I'm gonna have to fill my last consequence. I'm gonna have to take a
Oh
moderate.
shit. Well, no physical stress at least. So moderate.
Yeah. Well, I'm already sitting on 2 from his last attack.
Yeah. So for a moderate, let's go with cracked collarbone.
Cracked
That
collarbone.
hurts. As he's just like clamping down on you like a freaking alligator, just.
Oh shit.
Yeah. This albino priest is going nuts.
Oh man.
I'm surprised you haven't just put the gun to its belly and started shooting.
But that's coming next. I had to get the birds doing
That's
something.
fair. And the
that could've
the
took
birds
that.
will just keep doing that every turn, by the way, until
Okay.
he eats them or something. So the priest, you've gone, he's gone. The priest is gonna choose Nata.
All right. So I'm now at like the bottom. I'm on ground level now, pretty much, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So normally, I think priority would be the dragon. I'm gonna go on my aspect brother in arms, try and help August out of this. Except I do realize if I shoot the guy, it's probably gonna blow him up at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way I can hit the priest without blowing up August too?
That'd be a very difficult shot. I mean, with the fire explosive that you got.
That's all I got now left now. Yeah.
You could try. You could do it. You just have to make sure you don't roll poorly. That's all. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go brother in arms. Gotta keep him
Nice. So
alive.
you roll. So you're gonna pay a fate point to get +2 to your aim.
Yeah, I'll call on that aspect.
Okay. I could only. He's not looking at you, so he's only gonna. He has a 1 for his defense.
Okay, good. Good. 4, 5, 6. Plus the 2, 7, 8. Minus 1, 7.
7? Nice.
Yep.
And that's strength 5 potion that you got there.
Yep.
So he takes 12 physical stress.
Holy shit, dude.
What happens to him?
So
You
is he standing over you, coming in biting as he raises up, and he comes in for just one big, just the thing, smacks him in the head.
he's toast, man.
I'm gonna say if it kills him, I'm gonna say just blows his head right up.
Jeez, that's rough. Oh, so literally, yeah, he's like biting you. So he's literally clamped down on your freaking collarbone. His head is like inches from your face, and he's just like muttering words. It's like, "I'll kill you for this." And all of a sudden, his head erupts into a pillar of flame and just ashes out as his body goes limp. Like it's probably just his skull, like his clean, like soot-covered skull is left. Like,
no, Orion's gonna kill me because that was his mark.
I think he's got a bigger trophy.
all right.
I think Orion's aiming for a bigger trophy.
Let's go to Orion now.
Okay, Orion. I'm just gonna keep going with the same tried and true action. Orion is just pumping. He's emptying out his bandolier and just. Oh shit! I'm rolling amazing for him. He should have had my dice. Like, he's been rolling crap all night. Every time I roll for this dragon against Orion, I get like a -3. Okay. So those blue veins start to creep across the spaces between all of his scales, and it's starting to take up more space on his body. And he's starting to say, "Foul creature, remove yourself from me." He's starting to get real pissed off, and I think, is Orion the last one in this turn? I think so, right?
I think so now, unless the Salic are doing anything. Oh,
No, he's coming back. Yeah.
Dragon hasn't gone yet.
Oh, the dragon hasn't gone yet?
oh
Okay.
yeah.
That's what I'm doing then.
And the Salix.
So, the dragon. I don't want to. Shit. I don't want to mess with Jordan's character if he's not here, though.
Do we want to, because I know he's going to want the kill for the pelt and
Yeah.
everything. Do we want to, I don't know, maybe call it a cliffhanger till we can get him back?
I don't know. We're pretty close. A cliffhanger would be. We'll just go on. He'll have to have better luck next time. So what he's gonna do? Undalak will kind of thrash around, and until he can kind of. He's basically like thrashing and doing like this spin, like basically in the middle of this courtyard. He actually crushes a bunch of Salic in the process, and he's basically rolling over on Orion. So we're gonna call that might attack. Okay. So. That is going to that's going to release the grappling hook from him. As I'm marking down the damage so far he's taken. I know how many physical stress he has, so he didn't take a consequence from that, but he did get hurt. You guys literally see Orion kind of like in a defensive position, curled up on the ground, like shit. He got thrown off, but this dragon still has these blue energy veins coursing through him, and has taken like a position at one end of the courtyard, facing, at this point, I guess all three of you. And we're gonna go ahead and mark the turn. It's just a dragon and you three. So yeah, go ahead. You guys can go at your leisure.
All right, go ahead, Nata.
Got one left, so. Oh, and I can't really walk.
You can hobble.
Alright, so after that last shot, I kind of start falling over and I just kind of pull myself up on the wall. Rip out the last one, probably in a process action, and rip off the bandolier. Just load it in the thing. One arm, all my strength, holding this thing up. Let go at the dragon.
Nice. Oh man.
So, okay.
Okay.
Please. Five.
Oh man. Okay.
4. Wait, 5. 6 minus 1. Yeah, 5.
Okay. So, you're firing that. He's got a 7 for what he's doing. So now he sees you guys, and he's not taking you guys lightly now. And you fire that shot at him, and it was a dead-on shot. It would have hit him right between the eyes. But this asshole, literally, he bites it. He eats the damn thing. He's like, and you see it blows up in his mouth, and he spits it out. Yeah, he is pissed, and he's gonna pull out all the stops now. Who's next?
One more hit and I'm dead.
I guess. Yeah, I'm pop a shot and whistle for the birds to go in.
Okay. Yeah.
Or unless it's one or the other. In which case I'll whistle for the birds to go after him.
No,
If it's
the
either
birds
or.
are still going. I forgot he didn't attack the birds. I completely forgot about him.
Oh.
he got rid of Orion first. The birds did really well.
Yeah, then I'll just do a regular shot at him then.
Jesus.
And maybe it'll do something.
All right. So you're just doing a regular musket shot?
Yeah. Yep. I don't. I'm not so much useful in the fight.
You do have all these crazy wind powers.
I have the potions. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna run over to Nata, and kind of hold him up and pull that sleeping potion out that he gave me, and hand it over to him. And I want to invoke, if this will work, I want to invoke with a little help from my friends to maybe allow him to use his catapult bow to shoot it.
At the dragon? Okay.
To shoot the sleeping potion at the dragon?
Okay.
Like, is that
no,
a thing?
yeah,
Like,
no, we can do this. We can do this.
Or would no Guildman Left Behind be...
No, with a little help from my friends will be sufficient. I'm thinking how likely it is it's going to be that he fails his roll. But it is strength 4, I believe I said it was, right? Because
the sleep potions?
Oh, the sleep.
I did not write down the strength.
Yeah, 4.
Okay. All right. You want to take that shot? Because it'll cost you the fate point to give him the turn to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend the fate point to a little help from my friends, give him the action, and kind of hold him up as he takes the shot. So he runs over, gets underneath one of his arms, hands him the potion, take the shot.
All right. So with him help me, I'll take both hands now, aim, and just. Now, do I see that this is a sleeping potion? All right. I will try and hit him in the nose.
Okay.
Or his snout.
All right. I like this.
Yes, the other potion I had was the red, and I really didn't want to, give him PCP strength.
I've been tempted. A fractured ankle. I may need that.
I'm thinking about it also.
Yes. Here we go.
What'd you get?
4, 5, 6, 7. There we go.
7.
Yes. No minuses.
Okay. So you line up the shot. It sails through the air and slams right into his snout. And as he's taking a breath in, it looks like he was about to shoot acid at you guys. And then he sucks in all that. And let's find out what he rolls, huh? Holy shit. Okay. So, what's happening here? He failed his endurance. So that's putting the aspect on him sleeping. So literally, he sucks it all up, and his head immediately starts to like waver. He's like, no, and he's like, I'm not going back to sleep. His head like literally hits the ground, and he's looking at you guys, and he's trying to utter a couple words at you guys, and then.
And I'm gonna call out, Orion, he is yours, take him! And I choose Orion to go next.
What's Orion gonna do? I feel so terrible.
That
was
pretty
fantastic.
Cool.
That was fantastic. Alright, I'm gonna offer you something here, guys. It's called a concession, alright? So it's something that Fate does that I have never seen anything else do, which is literally choosing to end a fight in a specific manner, right? With certain agreed upon requirements, because the fight's too dangerous or whatever. So here's my offer to you, because the sleep potion will wear off if you hurt him, and there's no way for Orion to kill him in a single shot. Not with the gear that he's got. So I'm offering you guys, the dragon doesn't die. You've killed all of his minions basically. They're all eliminated, and you guys walk away before he wakes up.
I'm cool with that.
That sounds like a good concession to you guys?
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So literally, you guys look at
there.
Orion comes up and he's just like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do this." And then maybe like takes a talon or something, like a couple scales. Like, this is my trophy.
Takes the albino skull.
Yeah.
I can see he would definitely do that regardless. He would walk over, he'd take that like albino skull.
Yeah. I love. Okay, let me narrate.
Yeah, I think we definitely. Yeah, I agree.
Let me narrate this.
The people are safe. They already left.
They started leaving. They didn't really have much place to go after the fighting started. But you guys catch up to them. You use some of your alchemy to like wake them up and get them sentient. And you guys literally as a group are like hobbling away, brutally wounded. What's your name? August. You can feel it, the effects wearing off of the dryad blood, but it's still in your system. Do you have all four? Oh wait, you have mild, moderate, and severe.
Yeah, okay. They're all filled up.
So the dryad blood saved your life, right? But it's going to change you because you ingested the pure life energy of another creature, which is too much for a human to handle in most cases. So
I'm actually not full human though, because I am
exactly.
Lotra.
So it's not going to do a consequence. What it's going to do is change one of your aspects a little bit. So maybe let's see. We'll decide that later. But one of your aspects is going to be changed. You can feel it in you. There's a little bit of the Fae in you, and it's definitely changing you. Hopefully not for the worse. So
could definitely I think probably drop no guildman left behind. I think it's almost a little redundant with a little help from my friends.
I like that. Let's call it.
I feel those are kind of like almost on the same level.
That makes sense. And then it becomes Fey touched.
Fey touched. Okay.
And we'll call that you guys walking into the village to cheers and immediate medical assistance. Quite a bit of payment, and literally treated like heroes for as long as you decide to stay there. You guys are the heroes of the Mudbank village. Hopefully the dragon.
All right.
And with that, we will call that a scene. With the teaser, the little stinger at the end being that the dragon opens his eye and is pissed off.
Yeah, we made a big enemy today.
For sure. So yeah, thanks everybody.
Did the map survive?
Yo,
I can make that a favorite.
I like that. Yeah, no, your map is definitely the only thing you protected. Like everything else you have is like ruined. So let me just let's do a quick sign out and I'll stop recording. All right. So thanks everybody for sticking with us. I was right around on schedule, I guess 4 hours. I appreciate you guys checking us out. Hopefully this was as entertaining for you listeners as it was for me. Hopefully it was entertaining to the three of you players too. Again, I'm Samuel Torna, the GM for all of the Three Gorillas Entertainment stuff, and one of the founding members of Unnamed Production Company. Check out those things, please. Help us out. And why don't you sign out, Caleb? Oh, I don't know if he can hear me. Caleb?
Sorry, a baby thing. What was that? I had a
Oh, that's
baby.
all right. Go ahead and just do a quick sign out.
All right. I'm Caleb, YouTube Realms of Darkness, and part of Unnamed Production Company. I played Nata, the Monster Slayer. It was an awesome session.
All right.
And I'm Joe. Thanks for, I guess, checking it out. First time playing Fate. Definitely not the last. Love it. It was awesome. Thanks much. Thanks much. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, guys. It was badass.
All right. So, yeah, you guys know the drill. Have a good night or day, whatever it is for all you listeners out there. And
Yeah, I actually I gotta get off right now. I have a kid I gotta go take care of.
Have a good night.
Thank you. This was an awesome game.
Night, everybody.